I would definitely lose.
We're live.
Are we?
We're live.
Is there anybody in?
I don't know.
Mark's not here.
Mark's not here. Hey guys, if first person
Anybody
in the
wanna
chat
be
gets to DM.
First person in chat. Crickets.
It'll be a long,
No,
slow
I-
night of waiting.
Someone's typing.
For
I can tell. No.
Someone's.
Yeah.
There we go.
someone's-
Yep.
Oh.
All right.
Kubla.
We got a DM.
Wait.
That's not.
That's.
All right. Where are we? What? Tell the story.
It's just Jared. His
That's
story
what-
is going
wait,
to
is
be
that
I'm at
Rebecca?
home.
The other
I'm at
Jared, yeah.
home
Oh,
sick.
that's
Wicked.
not. Yeah, that's not fair. You can't
Wicked,
do that.
you're first here. You get to DM.
Good choice. I'm happy with this.
Oh, let's see. Can they hear us?
I hope
I
so.
don't know.
Otherwise, that'd be real awkward.
I mean, they're
Oh yeah.
responding
they can,
to us.
All right. I don't know if you guys can tell, the person who normally handles this stuff is not here, and also the other
He
person
is-
who normally handles this stuff is not
Two
here.
people in chat though.
Wait, yeah, he's actually
Oh,
two people in
I have to
chat.
level up to 20 apparently.
Wait.
How is? Wait a minute.
What's up?
Yeah. He's both Kubla Khan
Jared.
and
Is
Monolith
both
Live.
himself and us and Jared.
How is that possible?
No.
I can't think about this too hard.
And Paul is also Paul, aka Dan, aka Jared, aka other Jared.
The
is
man of
here.
many names.
Nothing like digging for minis at the last possible.
My
DM is here.
10-year-old daughter DM'd her first game this weekend.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, and the house she went to, the dad of the house was it's definitely a pretty hardcore gamer. And at the start, so it was 5 boys, and she was the DM. And at the start, the dad brought out this giant box, just like moving box, full of minis, and just dumped it on the floor. So literally, the first hour was a bunch of 10-year-olds sifting through all the minis, trying to figure out like what they should
That's awesome.
take.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
It was really good.
Paradise for kids.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Almost there.
She was good. She got nervous about initiative. She's like, initiative? What's initiative? I was like, that's okay, we'll figure it out. She likes just telling the stories, and then it got to the mechanics. I was like,
Yeah.
we'll do it. We got this. She had a lot of fun.
Nice.
She
Did TPK?
No, she almost did. So they're all first level, and one of the kids had obviously played before, and they went on this hunt, and they were protecting basically, she called them wolven. She made up all of her own creatures. She did.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, but she OP'd all of them, so they were protecting these wolven, and they got attacked, and she couldn't find dire wolves in the monster manual because they're not in there because Tolkien, and so she was like, I'll just use hellhounds, but without the fire.
Surely fine.
Oh, no.
So they were like 50 hit points, and like
God.
their cleric got bit by one of them, and it brought him down to 1 hit point, and she's like, huh. And so immediately on the spot, she's like, in her head, and she told me this later, she's like, well, as soon as the wolves got to half of their hit points, they were going to run away because they were cowards. So she was already like load balancing it, but the boy who had played before was like, this is going to kill us. This is going to kill us. She's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And they beat him.
All right. He still says determinedly.
Can we roll 10-sided dice? Because I have so many fucking 10-sided dice.
Go for it. Do it.
I could roll percentages until...
Your damage is now 10d10.
Yeah.
We can play World of Darkness, and then you
Exactly.
can only roll d10s.
Right,
yeah.
Do you ever find yourself just rolling dice just for fun? Sometimes?
No, I shuffle magic cards all the time.
See,
For probably the exact same reason.
it's the same thing. Fair enough. I'm waiting for my adventure to load on the interwide webs.
Oh.
You crammed right up until
I
6
did.
o'clock.
I did.
Jesus Christ,
And
man.
then
In the
passed it.
side meeting, it was not my intention at all. And then here's the thing. All right, so hello, party. He says.
Hello.
Hello.
Wicked was DM while you were gone, so we're
Oh,
all
yeah.
level 20 now.
Tell me how it's going because I believe this is
So you might
actually
We won.
Plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the one bummer I actually realized is that I promised chat, and specifically Crayer, a map, and this is the best I could do in short notice. It's what you would have divined.
Is Crayer here to appreciate
Let's
his
hope so.
own
Actually,
map
yeah, chat crew, ahoy! Who's in here from chat crew?
Wicked.
All right. That means literally, you guys
Mir-
actually have
Mirez
your
just got here.
feast.
Wicked.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, Mirez.
So, all right.
Did you put it? Did you put it back down again? He had to pick something.
Oh.
He had to pick something up.
Oh, I get it.
Womp womp.
All right. We got Ahoy. We got Wicked's Ahoy. We got Kubli Ahoy. Mirez Ahoy. Excellent. All right. Hello, everybody. Now let's get started on this
Yes.
exciting stream. Of course, as people may know, you guys already talked about the fact that Mr. Rubago is not actually joining.
No, we didn't.
No.
In the flesh. All right, because this is really weird.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that credit you gave us. We are not. We're
Yeah.
the
Fucks.
yeah.
Well,
Zero
because
fucks.
you may have noticed, people at home, that not only is Diedrich not sitting in the right spot, but neither is Varys. But Varys could be Diedrich in another world.
And Varys, both Jareds have control of Twitch chat right now. So anything we say in chat could be either of us.
Oh God. Not confusing at all.
Oh, that's really good. Maybe
No.
that's kind of a fun game we'll have to play later. We'll try to figure out
Guess the
Who
Jared.
Jared?
guess the Jared, which Jared which. So I think where we left off was you had just actually done a fairly ingenious plan. By the way, you did get inspiration.
Did I?
Yes, you got inspiration.
I already had
for that.
inspiration.
That's why.
Oh.
I thought I gave it to you at the very end because that was such a good. That was living up to Chip Flash's full potential. That you actually very cleverly co-opted a Cyclops, didn't kill him, actually redeemed him, the Redeemer. And then I also thought it was a really good idea to like do the necklace, and so
Yeah.
I'd given you inspiration as well for brokering that deal. And Frank, I gave you inspiration because I thought about it, and the simple fact that you rode up to that challenge on Statue Friend bravely to try to reason with this Cyclops, that was really inspiring. Even if he teed off on you a little bit, it was still inspiring. I think everybody should feel that inspiration. See, you fly through the air. So you went back to the Sprite to Sharp Leaf's encampment, and Idol, are you up to speed on what happened there with the scrum? Were you there for the Sprite hunting party?
No.
We woke up surrounded by sprites.
Yes,
Oh.
they were chasing an ogre through
Yeah.
the jungle.
With
Actually-
like sleep arrows or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, basically that poor ogre had stumbled into the
It was
wrong.
an ogre?
Mhm.
I thought it was like a giant armadillo.
It
That's
looked
because it
like
was
that because of all the
festooned.
arrows.
Yeah, with tiny little Sprite
In my
arrows.
mind, it was still a giant armadillo.
Well, it's fine.
Your Flash will have a quest later to find the armadillo
Where's
people.
the armadillo?
So it bursted in the clearing, and for a minute you were like, "Oh, we're gonna have to fight this thing," and then it had just keeled over, sound asleep, and that's for you, man. Sharpleaf, one of the sprites that led the party, and Strongbow, and also Strig, who were like second commands. They were big. That's what they did. They cruised around. So they had actually propositioned that they could probably try to help you navigate through Vandia a little bit further, but first maybe do something for them. Take out this nasty Cyclops, which had been kind of encroaching on their territory, and so you'd all set off. And you did find said Cyclops in sort of a ravine trap it had set up, where basically you had fallen down into this ravine, it came through, and then that's what happened is the party at first took some damage, did a little bit of damage, but more importantly had a really powerful parlay, where I think the Cyclops really came
Mostly,
around.
I just put him to sleep and we tied him up and then
Yeah.
talked to him afterwards.
That's how most redeem
Cyclops
stories
things
go.
happen,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's more of an intervention.
All great redemptions start with
Yeah.
an abduction, don't
Yeah.
they? So, anywho, and so that happened, and then now you're currently in the Sprite camp. We're just picking up right from there, where Sharpleaf, and so he says, now, you fulfilled your end of the bargain. Not how I would have seen it coming, but you did. So, what can we do to help you?
We seek the path to the center of the island.
He like up on his wings a little bit and kind of points towards the central plateau that you know of. And he goes, "You mean to go to the old ones, the ancient place? Is that true?"
Sounds
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Aye.
Well, I don't know the path there, I will admit, but I do know there's some ways that you could probably try to get there. One way is, see those towers? And you do actually see, far off in the distance, at least one tower that's sort of like elevated up out of the jungle canopy itself. A very large ring at the top of it. That's a way that the old ones used to go, back and forth, or so it is said. But I don't know how to get there, or how to make them work. There are some that might know, though. In the swamp, it's said that there's one of the original makers who still lives there, if you can believe that. I mean, he's not an elf, I don't think. So, you could go there, you could try your luck, at least I can tell you that tower might work. Or maybe you could talk to somebody that's bigger, like you, who might know a little bit more.
Well, I wouldn't talk to me.
But you could talk to somebody like you,
Oh, I see.
or somebody that likes you. I do not. He didn't say that last part.
But Mark did.
Editorializing. Yes. So he sort of like puts it out. Now the path actually, you know what, I can give you all as well the map that you've seen so far because Crayer would have cartographed it up to that point. Let me just very quickly.
Prayer said you get inspiration for how hard you worked on that map, even though he's just missed seeing it.
I have passed this around, and please, like, that is the part of the aisle that is stuff that you can kind of see.
Is there a "you are here"? On this
The
map?
"you are here" would be, because this is what's funny, behind the screen, that was my original game map. Before I made this little gem over the weekend. No, that's not my 11-year-old son's work. That's my work. I did this with colored pencils.
Expert
They were your
crayon.
11-year-old son's colored pencils.
My son could do a better job. Right? Like, I wish I was trying to get scripted to do it earlier.
So, where are we?
So on that, you are in the area that's like the 4 up here. This
The 4.
was to Perry.
Got it.
I know you're not going to really memorize this, but you could
Chat
get
will.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
chat will. Actually, I can do this. Ooh, that's not bad, right? And so what basically, you're in this area here. Sharpleaf actually says, he points towards the tower this way, and you see the large central plateau, which dominates the middle of the island. So he can tell you a little bit about the terrain too. He can tell you that there is a large swamp that is off to the, by your reckoning, southwest, away from you. That's straight ahead from this place, near where you first saw the Cyclops. You were starting to enter this. It's like sweeping grasslands, rolling hills, that kind of a thing. And then beyond that, there is, he says, improbably, that there's a desert of some sorts, something which is not on that map. You haven't seen it. But that's the extent of what he knows. Sprites don't get out too much. Most of this is just accreted knowledge over the years.
So he said he could send us to a tower.
Well, he pointed.
He pointed to a tower.
But
He
I
said
said
that way.
he said go that
yeah,
way.
go that
He
way.
could point us at this tower that we could also see with our eyes.
Yes, and he, well, what he says
Very helpful.
Very helpful. Well, specifically, that the old ones used to use it as some kind of a doorway.
Right, but he doesn't know how.
To the central. You know, he doesn't know how to
And
work
there's a
it.
guy who lives in a swamp
Yes.
who might know how it works.
Who might know how because he's very old. And
Yeah.
Sharpleaf at least said one of the original makers. Although that would be crazy because that would mean that person would be well over a couple thousand years old.
Is the swamp on the way to the tower?
It is not if you go as the crow flies. It would actually be straight ahead as the tower. The swamp is actually jagged off that way to the southwest.
But we can also see the center of the island, right? If we were to climb a tree, we could
Yeah.
see the central plateau. How long would it take us just to hike straight there?
If you went straight through to the central plateau, that'd be several days. It'd be several days. Like basically, you can do one grid. Normal. One grid actually takes you about 4 hours. No, actually, one grid is about a day. So you could actually push through because it's difficult terrain. There aren't any actual paths that go through here. So 4 years, about 12 days. The other thing, though, is, and this you can see even from where you are in your vantage point, the Central Plateau actually is a very imposing bluff. There could very well be switchbacks, there could be ways to go, but otherwise it looks like it's hundreds of feet higher than the rest of the island. So that would be quite an arduous climb. Not impossible for worthies such as yourselves, but it would definitely be pretty challenging, given what we know about the tower in the Shadowfell.
All right, so just for Diedrich's money,
Yes.
between having to ask for help with a magical artifact
Mhm.
or walking for 12 days and then climbing a mountain, I'm taking plan B. But I'm open to discussion amongst the group.
I mean, I'm interested in this tower just because I bet we can figure out how it works.
On the tower.
That might be easier than just, walking through swamps and deserts for 2 weeks.
Yes, and if you can figure it out, we don't need to ask for help.
Yes.
I get it. There's a character
exactly.
motivation. Yes, that is true. So, yeah.
We could make a
I'm good
new
with
friend if we
tower.
go to the tower.
Well, no, because he's
Or
in
the
the swamp,
Sorry, the swamp guy.
Let's go to the
which
tower.
is different than the tower.
Yeah, straight to
It's
the
like we
tower.
have 3 choices.
Mhm.
Your choice seems the poorest.
But sometimes the poorest choice leads to the richest story.
Okay, let's go to the tower.
There's a certain
Sometimes.
logic in that. There is.
The third choice that the DM didn't offer you leads to the richest story.
Right, yeah.
Right. We're truly when we are flying by the seat of our pants.
Think
Then we
about
are
those
flying.
people who went by the road less traveled. They had a great time. We're going to go by not a road at all. It'll
Yeah,
be
that's
wonderful.
So maybe even
But none of them are roads.
That is very, very true. So also I think when you had set out, it was the first encounter you had was in the evening. That was your camp. So I think you set out probably in the morning for that. So it's still like to get out there and back. It's probably very early evening, late afternoon.
We could reach the tower today.
No chance.
Oh. Oh, you mean
but-
now it's the
Yeah,
afternoon.
but so like I mean, you could bunker down with them. You could push through for a while. You still have several hours of march left ahead of you. You could easily do, and it would push you further into the island. So hang out with them, or push forward for a little bit and find your own camp somewhere.
I think we should keep going as much as we can.
Yeah. Set out
So go out for a couple hours.
and then camp.
When
Yeah.
does sun go down?
About this time. I always say like right. It's like I always say like the weather in the chords reflects what's going on outside. So it's actually the sun has been setting later.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
So we have
so
a-
the
we have a
sun's
few-
never going to go down.
So we have a few hours.
like 9 p.m. by your reckoning.
And can we tie a few hundred of these fairies together and just take flight?
Yeah.
Fairy
maybe.
balloon.
Maybe.
So I should just scrape some dust off of their little wings and legs. Yes.
Yeah, we set out then.
Yeah.
Yes. Do we have enough stuff? We still have enough stuff?
We've been letting our chat crew
Make sure that we
handle,
have enough
handle
stuff.
camp and stuff.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact,
Bruce has a
So-
whole meal planned for the day and everything.
I want to hear about that, Bruce, because actually, yeah, what we've been doing is so.
I feel like
Varys-
Wicked just does that because he's hungry and he wants to make everyone else hungry.
Maybe.
Maybe he's actually cooking real food.
Yeah.
Question: did we earn any money or get anything I need to add to our
No.
party?
No, there was no
Party
treasure
stuff.
available, and we didn't give it away.
You gave it away.
Give it away. We used it in return for them pointing us to something we could already
It was
see.
a pacification
Yeah.
mechanism for the bad guy.
That's fine.
We spent it like money to achieve peace, which also could have been achieved through violence.
Right. We literally said
So Jaflash
if,
That
won
doesn't
this
sound
round.
right.
we
Yeah, I'm
literally-
liking this plan less and less.
we literally said, and by we I mean I literally said, man, if Tracy was here, she would kill this motherfucker
Right.
and take his stuff.
And take his stuff.
Probably.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is one thing. Yeah, a little sharp leaf does go up, and actually, as a heart seer, alights upon your shoulder and says, "Ah, an Eladrin with a heart of gold. I mean gold." And then flies away.
Listen, my heart is very body temperature
Like,
And flesh.
and made of flesh.
yeah. Alright, fair enough. So yes, actually, with regards to supplies, what we've been doing is there's a Varys, or anybody can do a wisdom survival check just to like kind of forge a path through the jungle, and then also it is true, Chat Crew has been basically doing a forage check for the party to like kind of keep you guys in supplies.
I don't know how useful this will be, but I have a thing that's a cantrip that I can tell the
Yeah,
weather or predict the weather in the next 24 hours. So I can like do that as we go along and see like, oh, storm's coming or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Just in
You can
case.
do that.
It's called Druid
Rabago,
Craft.
what are you're slacking on us?
Because
here with
he
your
spends
awesome magic.
95% of his time trying to figure out how to turn into a fucking useless octopus.
See, now this is the weirdest thing because now I thought you were playing Varys, but of course
No,
you
we didn't. We didn't do that crazy thing we said at the
Oh
beginning.
no!
That was a joke.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Yes.
After you
I
order,
took notes.
it's like after you order a meal at a restaurant and everybody switches places just to fuck with the waiter. Yeah, yeah. Right, so
Sorry,
I
I'm playing Varys.
All right,
He's
cool.
playing Diedrich still.
And you can predict the weather.
Yeah, Druidcraft sensory effect that predicts the weather at the current, what it will be at current location for the next 24 hours. And it's a cantrip, so you can do it.
Yeah, that's your
You
Anyway,
can't do
apparently he
anything
hasn't been
about it.
using
He'll be like, we're all going to get wet. All right, that sounds
We
good.
can prepare for that.
Can you turn into an umbrella?
That's actually another spell that he has. Yeah, he hasn't been doing that.
That's right, there's another one. But he's just been kicking a lot of ass as a beast shape.
I
So
see,
really,
yeah.
it's like, all right, yeah. So you set out then, pushing through. You actually travel past, out of the sprite hunting ground itself. You start to leave the jungle behind. As I assume you're just kind of pushing to the east. Eventually, that jungle wends its way out into sweeping grasslands. You do actually see what Sharpleaf was talking about. See ahead of you, there seems to be probably like a 20-mile, and again, these are rough estimates, but swath of savanna, rolling savanna that actually takes place. And then beyond that, it's hard to tell, but there's heat waves emanating even at the end of the day. And then you do see a sweeping expanse of swamp off to your east at this point, and then further to the north, actually, is just out to your left. Would be out is the end of the island itself. So it's starting to get dark now. It would be a decent time to set up camp. You can set up camp at the edge of the forest. You can set up camp in the savannah itself. Fires would be more visible there. The jungle, obviously, less visibility for you all.
Yeah, I think a little cover would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, edge of the forest.
Edge of the forest? At the edge of the forest?
Yeah.
Nope.
All right. You set up camp, so watches. What are we talking about with watches? Swatch me on the watches.
I've got dark vision,
Yeah.
and I can turn into a wolf.
I think most of us have dark vision.
Except for me.
This-
I'm sleeping the whole night.
That's fine. I
Roger that, Captain.
only.
So typically, the way this works is you two do the watch because you don't have to.
That's
sleep
right,
very much.
because
Because you each have
Oh,
4
right,
hours.
yeah,
I'm an
we're
elf too, or
elves,
something,
so
yeah.
we only trance for 4 hours each. So
There
that
you go.
works.
Yeah, right.
Yes, between Varus and Idol usually is how it goes. And Varus usually goes first.
Sounds good.
All right. And then, of course, Idol. All right, and chat crew, how are we doing on the old camp? Tell us how you've done with supplies and all of that good stuff.
I see a 14 and a 13 so far.
Ooh. A 14 to 13, remember doing
And a 9.
averages.
All right, we're going down.
Did those upper ones count, Genshi and?
Oh,
I
missed
don't know what
that.
those were.
Oh, nope, those do not count. Nope, definitely just a 14, a 13, a 9, and an 18.
Yep.
That
All right.
definitely
We're at
counts.
14.
What is the average? It's a
14.
14? Thank you. All right, well, you know what? They picked out a really nice spot. Actually, just in a little bit of a dell. Can you have a dell right outside of this event? Sure.
She's great. She's.
She's
You can have a Dell whenever you want.
whenever you want to. So that's where you actually find it. So
Or
it's
streaming music.
So you basically are able to find this nook. The fire is basically hidden from prying eyes across the horizon. And a little bit of smoke popping up. That's okay. The night passes uneventfully. Is there anything you would like to do with your evening?
I'm going to attune with my shield.
Thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
what
I could tell you were digging.
I was doing some of this.
Yeah.
Anybody do anything with anything?
Does Varus have an
Nice.
attune thing? I forget which ones of you have things.
He just reloads his beast shapes.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. I do that.
It's like when Henry Cavill reloads his biceps in Mission Impossible, you just do that but as a bear.
Sounds good.
I got a +1 to my spell save DC already out of my Siren Walkman,
Yes.
but I will never stop listening to it, just so we're clear. Is there anything more to be done there in your mind, or are we past that part and it's just part of my backstory?
No, there is still some stuff. You think that through further study in a more advanced way, you actually could use it +1 to your DC. The other one would be to attack. That's
Okay.
a spell attack. So basically, it's like, could it punch harder?
Okay.
Just kind of been tuning more to the universal mysteries and the music that's in all of our hearts.
Okay.
So yeah, you can do that.
Do I need to further attune with the navigator, or is that basically done?
That's basically done. And actually, the last thing, if you recall, the navigator saying to you was like, you could, ask some questions of it just for the
Yeah.
sake of the role playing session. I would go down a super deep rabbit hole, but technically, you could talk to navigator, ask a
I
question.
do want to ask navigator a question.
Yeah.
Is it at all possible that a Siren could have survived and still be out there in the swamp somewhere? Like,
The Sirens were masters of many esoteric magics
yeah.
that defy, as near as I can tell, Pilot, anything that has been achieved in this current age. It is likely that a Siren would have been able to master some forms of longevity. Naturally, they were not an immortal race such as yourself. However, they could easily attain that through their own processes.
Let's not get any wrong ideas. I am very, very mortal.
That's true.
It's very
But not
possible
in
for
my
me to
eyes.
die, and I would like to avoid that at all costs, please and thank you.
Yes. That's what I'm here for, pilot. But yes, I do think it would be possible for them to extend their years.
They could also
Well-
live in some of that weird time warpy bullshit.
Yeah, some kind of stasis or whatever. Well, maybe I don't know. I don't know if we have the time, but I would be really interested in talking to this guy and finding out if he's actually what
Yeah.
people are saying he
I
is.
mean, I'm sure the DM probably spent some time writing up his stats.
Hey man, don't worry about me. I'm just here to have fun with y'all.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Empower. Player-driven storytelling.
Yep.
What
I
about the
didn't hear
DM?
any of that because I just got my brains blown out by the Siren music. I just rolled a 3, so probably fried in a really satisfying way.
I would like to believe at this point that is what happens.
I just
It's not
it hurts
painful.
so good.
Yeah, it hurts so good. It hurts so good.
I rolled a 16.
Oh, excellent. So you are starting to make, you actually realize that this gets back to what we want out of the shield, what you want out of the shield.
I just wanted to make funny faces.
Well, you definitely are starting to get that. You actually
Right.
also think that it would be possible for you in time to, because there's, by investing your charisma, your personality into this shield, in time, it may be possible to actually animate it outside of even your own grip.
Oh, that's cool.
So, right? It could be like, woo, 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 floating around shield.
Yeah, floating shield.
Yeah, floating shield, and still those dynamite faces.
Right.
That way you could hold a weapon in each hand.
Right. And be
Throw
even
them.
more useless. Really, what I could do is hold 2 more shields.
Yeah. Actually, that is true. You could
Yeah,
totally
I
do that.
could.
You could be
I probably
super
will,
shielded up.
actually.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Note to
shield.
self. Alright.
But yeah, that basically is Flash. That is the attunement right now. The path that you feel like you can take with it is through
I dig it.
successfully. Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, so the night passes uneventfully. You wake up in the morning, kick out the embers of the fire, I assume. Chat crew gathering up all the stuff at the caravan itself, and then you pick up the pace. Now you are about to enter into on the map. Oh yeah. So basically, now you're entering into the grasslands that follow. This is a slightly imperfect map relative to the Dungeon Master's map, but yeah, you start to push out eastward.
Does that map not have traps on it?
It doesn't have. Actually, sadly, it does.
Oh, dang, I missed those.
Right. Shit. But yeah, so you're pushing out eastward. You go through the course of the day.
Why are you rolling, Mark?
Because I'm actually going old school on this. I'm doing some random encounters.
Alright, that's perfect.
I'm doing some fucking random encounters. You guys can go overland.
Saw a snake. Done.
Well, at some
Yay.
point you might. Oh, I saw one this weekend when I was hiking and I squealed. I don't like garter snakes at all.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
so nice.
I
They don't even have teeth.
I can't help it.
got
I haven't
little
seen one in a really long
bumpy
time.
gums.
They just eat bugs.
I know, they were everywhere.
You're so cute.
Yes, push through a good 6 miles into the journey. It's been about 4 hours. Just taking the pace, kind of going the whole caravan, pushing into the grasslands a little bit further.
Are there any? Do we see any animals?
Yeah, here and there. You see the kinds of things that you would see. Was that a DM tip? Mark, what do we see? Birds.
It's grassy.
It's grassy. What do you want? I'm a people person. Not an animal DM. I'm a people DM. Yes. There's birds. There's a perfectly robust ecology in this.
It's
entire-
not dead.
Yeah, it's not
It's
weirdly-
not Chernobyl or something.
Yeah, right. The grass breaks as you walk
Right.
through it. This doesn't seem right.
Turns to blood red.
It's why is the
God.
grass clean? Going through, pushing further into the grasslands, you do actually see the tower now, like more clearly. Although it still seems quite a ways off. It seems like something that you'll probably achieve in another day and a half of strong march, assuming everything goes correctly. You push through into the midday, going into the early afternoon. There are at times you actually see buried in the grass the Syrian statues, pieces of artifice, arches that seem tipped over, things that look like you would have seen in Dryport back in the day, old Brisira, that you now see just buried in the grass, which seems like obviously something had fallen. Either the land had grown up around it or it was not there originally. Hard to say. We should go through into the next quadrant. It's about late afternoon, actually, when in the sky, one of your eagle-eyed scouts. Who would be your eagle-eyed scout? Krayer, I think? No, Torfin is our forager and scout on this particular occasion. Torfin actually, with a cry, casts his arm up, and you look and you see there's a black spot on the horizon getting closer and sort of circling, not towards you as like a beeline, but like floating like as if in a patrol. Mm-hmm. And as it gets closer, you realize, oh, by the gods, by the nine, it looks like, and you've never seen this before, but you've heard it described, you've seen pictures of it, a dragon. It's a black dragon. It's high up.
Gibbs.
And this looks like a grown black dragon. So that's what's going on there. And it's just flying. You realize that it's probably on a patrol of sorts, but here you are in the grasslands. So, in that whole little, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? There's a dragon up there hunting for food.
And we're in the grasslands?
You are.
So not a lot of cover?
I'd say that this is probably like waist high.
It's
savanna
tall grass.
Yes, but what you remember from the people that have studied these kinds of things could tell you that, like, dragons have keen-eyed senses. Certainly, you are right though in that probably if you're thinking we don't know if we can fight this, that's probably a sound assessment.
I was not thinking that.
I never know.
You're like,
I never know. What
even I wasn't thinking.
I almost cast Thunderclap.
Come and get us!
We're done walking through this fucking savannah.
Yeah. So there it is.
I don't think we do anything.
It is possible that if you just stand there, it will probably see you.
Can we tell where it's like circling?
It looks like it's just kind
just
of
around,
like
yeah.
around savannah.
Okay.
I think we
As
should.
predatory beasts do. Actually, Varys, as you would know, like dragons are arcane beasts, but they're still in a part of the ecology and predatory flying critters.
You should turn into a dragon. Go talk to it.
I don't think I have that ability yet.
Just bears and shit.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah,
I have no doubt.
so close, man.
I think we should circle the wagons. If
Maybe
this
back
could
up?
be coming down,
We don't have wagons.
circle the
It's a
Wagoneers.
metaphor.
It doesn't seem that it has spotted you yet. It does not appear to actually be making. It looks like it is just doing a foraging fly around. If it sees you, you are certain that it would probably want to lay waste to you, but it doesn't appear to have yet spotted you.
Yeah.
You're saying you want to attack it?
No, I'm not saying I want to
okay.
attack it.
You never know with Diedrich.
So Diedrich is thinking that our best bet is to assume a defensive posture because it's if we're out in the open grasslands, if we move, it's going to spot us. If we stay, eventually it's going to spot us. So we might as well be in a good position to fight instead of trying to run from it.
Are we anywhere near like the forest or anything of thicker cover?
No, you have pushed out.
Could
pretty,
we
pretty
dig trenches like the French?
We just
You
go
could do well.
crawl through the grass.
How much
only
DM
the French.
participatory
Yeah.
problem solving do you want to? Like, I want to at least.
What's the ground like?
The ground is diggable.
Yeah.
The grass is cuttable. Doesn't look like it's flying directly over your head yet. It does look like it's just making idle patterns around.
It's
might
making
be-
a pattern of idle.
Idle
It has
patterns.
definitely spotted us.
It's looking for idle. It seems that it is possible that it could be diverted with in some way. It could be.
Have you met us?
Obviously,
Yeah.
I don't want to I want y'all to do the problem solving.
Can y'all just sneak? How sneaky?
There's a
I
bunch
guess
of
I don't
us.
know about.
I'm gonna speak
Well,
with the plants. I have speak with plants now. That's the thing I just got in my
What?
level up.
Okay.
Okay.
You have speak with what the fuck would a bard
Yeah,
do with
what?
speak with plants?
Well, we're going into a jungle, so I thought
Actually,
this will
that's a
probably
good
come in
idea.
handy.
And why doesn't Varys have
Terrible
that?
idea. Why? It's like going to a desert and wanting to speak with sand or something. Why would anybody do that?
So I could discuss with the plants and see if I can get them to help us out somehow or another here. Maybe pass a message along to their friends in the distance to keep them
Is it
distracted
all
while we
just
run.
Do you guys
Savannah
grow a little
all around?
faster?
Or just have them like
in this
fold
herd.
up around us
Yeah.
as we walk.
And how
It's-
late till nighttime?
It's right on the. It was probably on the cusp of twilight.
We should just lay low until it gets dark and then set up camp. These motherfuckers see in the dark? Do we know who knows about
Could I- yeah,
If
could
I know
like
anything
a-
about my draconic cousins, it's that they see excellently in the dark.
Yeah, actually,
Just as I do.
Just like you. Yeah.
Well, when does it sleep?
So
Can
true.
we can we wait for it to go to bed
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and
It's
then
like,
get out of get through this area before it wakes up again?
Wilderness survival. Anyone? I know
I've got
this is-
survival. I don't know.
It's yeah.
Okay.
Wilderness.
I didn't know if I needed it
Wisdom.
specifically.
I
I
Oh,
could
no.
intimidate the
I
grass.
got a 10.
Even with a buff, or even with
Yeah.
we can-
Yeah, he's got plus 7 and I rolled a 3.
Using this random encounter table, you got a dragon, you just can't get us out of it.
No. No.
Okay,
I
you
put
put this
the
dragon here?
dragon,
Okay, alright,
but
never mind. No,
This is
no.
not a combat one. I was hoping it wouldn't be. You never know.
We'll
with
see
the
what
faceless.
happens.
They're like, could this
You
be
know.
coming?
He's got something.
I rolled a 16 on my survival check.
Perfect. You're like the best bet with this predator because dragons, they do have great vision, but it doesn't look like it's actually fixated on you, which is great. That if you could find some kind of camouflage, if you could quickly cut. In fact, you have a really nice
We
malachite
have a machete.
that you could actually and really quickly just cut this tall
We'll
grass
just make some grass
and,
suits.
and lay it over you. Yeah, because you
yeah,
don't have
the
any pack
suggestion
animals.
was ghillie suits. So yeah.
Ghillie suits. That's where I'm going with this.
Nice.
Yeah, you can each actually very quickly cut and make some thing, and of course pray that it doesn't see you.
Well, I profusely apologize to my plant friends that were
Oh,
just.
Oh, no.
That's a really good.
They
guys,
may,
help.
have just, they may have just told you to cut them down to wear them.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Actually,
hey,
you know
they need
what?
a haircut.
That reminds me of something. I have this adamantine longsword that I can't actually use. I mean, I could use it, but it's a little bit heavy for me. Would you perhaps like it, Frank? Okay.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
What's does it have special stats?
It's just +1 attack, +1 damage.
Yeah.
And it counts as magic, and
Wait,
also
no,
counts
that's the
as,
machete. You can cross
silver,
that out. Ooh,
which where those things matter.
Gets through damage resistances
I
and
have
stuff.
an eraser. Just
Plus one magic. So
I did because I crossed out
cool
the
exotic
thing.
sword. So all right, best stealth. Anybody can make this roll, but I believe it's Idle. With in addition to the great wilderness check, to actually survival check to say, I think we should try to do this. Please give me a hide check. Now everybody else also a dex check. You're not on the hook quite as much as poor Idle, but that's what comes from being the rogue.
Well, I still rolled a 13.
Okay, 13 total.
Yes.
Okay, and how about?
Is this a save or just a?
It's just a check. You just, somebody should-
Stealth check?
Stealth, yes. Sorry.
Stealth. Oh, okay.
Yeah, dex. The stealth would be the proficiency. Dex would be the basic roll. 8. Okay. Cool.
7?
10.
14.
Okay. Thanks to Idle's great survival check, and because of the pretty decent high check as well as the basic average of the party, you're able to bunker down. Oh, by the way, chat crew, give me a roll as well, please. I know we're on a 15-second delay, but we'll push that consequence forward if necessary. It does look like it's casting off more to the north of you, and it doesn't actually apparently pick you up in any way visually. So after a few more large circuitous loops about the overall grasslands, mighty wings flap, and it looks like it flaps away more out into the swamp.
That's good.
To the
Good
east.
thing we didn't go
To
there.
the south.
We're gonna get it on the way back, right?
Yep.
When we're coming back, we're gonna get the dragon. I
Assuming we level up.
don't know what that means, but I think we're gonna get
We
it.
got a fleet too, right?
What's that?
We got to get his loot too, right? It's
Yes.
Oh
treasure
yeah.
hoard.
Maybe we can
This
just
is-
find
that's
its
what it
loot
is.
while it's not guarding its loot.
Because I'm just saying, when they tell the great stories of the great heroes, I don't think the time they snuck past a dragon is going to be the highlight.
We evaded a dragon.
Snuck past,
Yeah.
ran from, fled.
Yeah, no
like,
one ran.
like cowards.
Successfully snuck past.
There was-
Successful cowards.
There was no sneaking.
Snuck
Or
into its
running.
lair and got all the treasure.
Isn't it really all about messaging? Isn't it? Isn't that a big part of it? Like how you spin the narrative. Isn't that what it's really about? Tell people what they think.
And how sneaky were we really when you imagine statue friend up there with a couple tufts of grass sticking up?
All right. You know, actually, that is an interesting point because you have passed at various points on your journey in this area, like different pieces of structure, architecture, and whatnot. It is possible that statue friend would make a passable statue in a pinch. Like if it had to, like, just quick, make like a statue.
He just has to stand kind of like he's falling over for
Yes,
a
he's
while.
falling over. This I can do. Yes. So the dragon flaps away. The party eventually gets back up. The ghillie suits in hand, I assume. And you push through a little bit further. You see that dusk is coming pretty rapidly, though. The time for another camp. So
Or we could just push through.
you could push through the night.
The
Nothing's
dragon's
saying you
coming back. What do you think?
I don't need to sleep much.
Should we push
I
through?
feel like my
Neither do I.
opinion about how close we are to this dragon no longer matters.
Well, you were the one who wanted to have good stories. Let's push through.
can't. Now,
Yeah, you
Away
remember
from
the
the
time
dragon?
that the party went and charged forward and got that dragon?
We're not getting a dragon. He went the other way.
Got
Yeah,
to the
we're
dragon's
continuing.
loot.
I would like its loot.
it's probable that what
I
happened,
would
and I'm
like
basing this mostly on your excellent survival and what you've known is, it's probable that this is an area that it sweeps through every once in a while. It's an adult dragon, you can tell by the size, but not so ancient, not an ancient one that kind of just sits on a pile of treasure and doesn't do that much. This one actually still obviously hunts, still defends territory. It's probable that it will sweep through at some point, but dragons don't, go day to day. That's not how they usually live. So you might be safe for at least a couple days. You
Okay.
conjecture just based on the fact that they're slower, longer lived beasts.
All right. Let's do camp then. Fine.
I'm just hey, that's just the ecology.
I'm just talking to Idol.
Right. What did I
It's
say?
like they won't come back for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
Probably fine.
Probably fair. Yeah.
It'll be fine. If you
It's
can.
fine.
Okay.
It's fine. What do you think?
I'm waiting for the
Dragon
plan
man.
where we're not fine. That
All right.
doesn't sound like there's a not fine plan on the table yet.
Seems fine.
That I don't even know what to say to you.
You resist your pull. Quiet, they all say. All right. Oh, 20, 12, 10. Yeah, that was the thing. All right, Kubli, nice job. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So, yep, set up camp again in the grasslands. I let Chet do it. But basically, you do find a nice little spot. To what degree this is nice, we'll say. Do you remember those fountains that you saw in Dryport that were perpetually running with cool, clean water?
Yes.
You actually find one of those. In fact, the ground around it is rather swampy, not like a swamp. It's like for a while around it, you see it. But incongruously, it's actually set in this rolling savanna, just water just flowing. It seems to be delicious, clean, clear water.
Ecologically speaking, this is probably a place that a lot of predators hang out at because lots of prey will hang out at it.
We should stay here for a while.
I'm not telling you what we should or shouldn't do. I'm just telling you that I read a book once.
Right.
Did anything bad happen to us when we drank from this water in Dryport?
Oh, all right.
All right, well, we drink from the water then.
It
I'm not
is
sure that he did drink from it,
some
actually.
dynamite rolls.
Yeah, we're averaging 16.3 right now.
You know what? I don't. Your capable crew backs that up basically with your scouts being fanned out with what they know. They're like, yeah, this might be a terrible place to camp. If this is truly such a reliable source of replenishable water, any number of things could actually come through
Good job, crew.
during the day. Yeah. So now it is starting to be dusk. Right, so you could push through into you could take your chances here. You could push through further if you wanted to. If you march through the night, the other thing I'll say is that is starting to get into exhaustion territory, so you would start to make constitution saves if you continue. It's considered a forced march if you're just like trudging through. So
We just have to get some distance from the fountain.
Yeah.
So we could march another hour and then camp.
Yeah. It is also possible that if you want to, you could. The Savannah Street ahead seems like it's still quite like 12 or so miles ahead of you. Just like trying to. I assume you have like some form of aerial reconnaissance to even just Barris right before he goes to sleep or does his long rest. He can fly about a little bit. Wait. I think Barris can fly.
I've
No,
only
there's-
seen him turn into
Oh,
a
the
bear.
fire can't fly.
One of the last
Yeah.
frontiers I still have over the planet.
I think that's the next level.
Yeah, it is. You are close enough that you could either also just drop down to the perimeter, the edges of the swamp, if you felt like you wanted more cover from the savannah itself. Your call. You could probably push through and get to the edges of that. You could probably hunker down right here. Not having a fire would reduce the likelihood of being stumbled upon outside of anything that naturally shows up. Or you can push through and get a little bit further away.
I don't think we want to march through the night, but
Yeah.
getting some
Yeah.
distance from the fountain would be good. I think we go another hour, we make camp, we light a fire, we do the whole deal.
Sounds good to me.
And
So,
chat says we've got some grass soup coming, which I can't wait for.
Oh, that's good though. Down by the bayou, Bruce makes some good soup. That was my best Adam Sandler. Wasn't very good at all. Remember Cajun Man? That's what I was trying to do. All right. Yeah, you push through. You actually find a pretty decent spot to camp. Certainly no worse than any of the others so far. You say same watch, I'm sure.
You see 2 dragons fly.
Oh no.
You see 2 dragons. Idle.
Oh.
On your watch, in this nice savanna of sweeping grass, listening to the wind blow, a perception check, please.
Okay. That's okay. That's perception. That's a 20 total.
Just okay.
All right, a 20. While you're patrolling, and just doing scans, you actually see. I'm going to say you are sleeping near each other, right? Because you see a vine. It looks like a vine. At first you think it might be a green snake, but then you realize it isn't actually a vine
Oh.
snaking through and preparing to wrap up both Diedrich and Frunk in its grip. And you see it just sweeping around,
Switch with me.
sweeping around slowly. Poise.
Oh my god, I run over and I wake them up.
Okay, now as you do that, you're going to be closer to the thing.
Yeah, I
Impression.
know.
All right, roll initiative.
Yay!
Everyone?
Just
Just idle so far, and then this will be the surprise round for idle, and then I assume you'll be able to cry, and then you all can roll initiative. Start from there.
Never cries.
A 19. That's a very idle-like roll for me.
It is, I know. And I
Too
rolled
bad
another
it's not
20.
so good.
Oh, why do I even try?
an even
Why
more
do I
idle
even
roll.
try?
Uh,
I'm not even bothered with the battle mat right now because this is a pretty localized, dramatic interpretation of combat. Wow, idle. Dynamite.
yep.
All right, so yes, there you go. You have some kind of a vine that looks like it's about to start choking the life out of 2 of your companions.
Yep. Let's. Yeah. Can I cut it?
You can attack it for sure, and I assume just because I don't want to cheat you on this, I assume you're also yelling, "Wake up! Wake up!"
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, everybody who is roll initiative, please.
Also 20.
Damn!
Nice.
Why do I even bother rolling 19s? There ought to be a law. All right, Varys, on a 20. And Shaflash.
16.
All right. Anybody beat a 16?
17.
Wow. You guys are on fire.
I hope we're not on fire.
I could have had a 15 and gone to the same place as the 4 that I actually rolled.
Right?
That's
That's the
true.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. So don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Don't feel so bad.
You know
Well,
what?
Dietrich?
I got a 15. No, I got a 4. Doesn't matter.
That's
I
right,
got
that's
any other real number.
It's funny when you said that. I was even thinking that, like, why do I diligently write down the numbers like it matters? Like, oh, but you're on a 4, not a.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that. All right, Idle. So yes, you oh, wake up! And at that, you see that the vine is what it looks like. It is
Yep.
actually quite long,
Okay.
sort of like tense up
Yep.
at the sound of your voice.
I attack it.
All right.
I'm trying to cut it.
All right.
With my daggers.
And are those daggers? They're magical.
One of them
One
is magical.
And one is just regular.
One is just regular.
No silver. No. Just asking. Just
No,
asking.
Not for- yeah,
No,
not because.
whatever. The green one will be the magical +1. Holy shit! So that's a nat 20.
Oh my gosh!
On the
Why did you
magic-
wake us
On the
up?
magic
Like,
Can I just, as a quick aside, why did this happen with the Gorgon? Doesn't it like I know the fickle
Well, it
fates?
didn't. I mean, the fact that it's happening now is why it didn't happen with the
That's a
Gorgon.
good point.
It
That's a
felt
good-
like
yes,
Varys needed a moment to shine. That's what happened with the Gorgon.
Yeah.
and shine he did. Shine he
Also,
did.
these are the rolls we could have had at the start of a fight with the dragon. Just saying.
You know that they would be all ones.
After it strafed us a couple times.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, how much
Anyway.
damage? How much damage?
Let's see. Double dice. Do I get sneak attack damage since technically they're adjacent? Well, I guess they're asleep.
They're asleep,
so,
not
yeah,
on
it
this
doesn't
turn, but
count.
next turn.
Yeah. So anyway,
+1.
three, yeah, 3 and 4 plus. So that's 12, I think.
Goodness gracious!
Yeah, it's
Great damage.
double dice plus 5.
Mm.
It's 13 now, right?
What?
You got +1. So 8.
I factored
Oh,
that into this
dang.
already.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, so you strike it and you hack off some of the adjoining branches and whatnot because you see like even more shoots like actually come off it. Do a nice chunk of damage. It's still going. Varys,
I feel like,
a bitter pill to be attacking vegetation, but here we
I
are.
mean, sometimes you just gotta, yeah, right? Self-defense.
Right?
I feel like the Varys thing to do would be to summon 2 direwolves and then transform into a direwolf.
Oh, that's the new shtick, isn't it? All right.
That's how
I
you-
was told that's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Good enough for Gorgons.
So I roll,
Plant.
I roll for initiative for the direwolves, right?
They'll just go on your turn.
Is
Okay.
it food though?
So then do they go?
Could be.
So is that an instantaneous summoning? They just pop
This
into
is
being?
summon animals, right?
Yes, conjure animals.
Conjure animals.
It costs 1 action.
I think they
concentration
can't act
of
until
power.
next turn.
Tactics OP.
What
I
it
agree
said
with you,
is
Mirez.
what it said is they roll initiative and slot in.
Oh, all right. If you want, you can do that too. It's just more bookkeeping for.
They got 10.
All right.
So there you go, Jared.
So they're
Now-
going above.
Yeah,
right
right.
now. This is where that all
So
pays
4,
off.
4 is important.
Yeah, that 4 became.
I feel so much better now.
You're welcome.
Now the wolves are stealing your kill. All right. Well, on that note, so yes, so I assume you summon them. They will come in on their initiative. Fair enough. So what do you do, Diedrich?
Oh, I
I'm sorry,
transform into a
Varys.
direwolf, which is
Okay, that's
sorry. That's my action.
and then
Would be
summoning
transform.
is
Or sorry, summon is the action. Transform is bonus action, and then move in. So that's all I can do.
Cool, got it. What did I do there? Oh, that's so funny. Because I was so impressed with the earlier thing, instead of mine, I wrote Varys. So Varys.
I can go twice. That's fine.
All around you,
Oh, sorry, that's fine.
as you transform and you've called and started to strike at this thing, there's a ripple, a shudder that goes through all the plants around you, like basically encompassing the entire encampment, including some of the crew. The terrain itself becomes difficult as you see like all the grass start to animate and snake around you itself, restraining you, wrapping up around your arms. You can't escape it on your turn. You can try to break free, but for right now, everyone that is in this, so that's literally everyone, please give me a DC 13 strength. Athletics is the proficiency if you've got it.
Is it a save or is it athletics?
It is DC 13 strength athletics
Okay,
check.
got it.
Okay.
That is
25.
25.
18.
Excellent.
10.
12.
13 for me, and the wolves got 9 out of 10.
Okay. So, you feel the grass around you, in addition to the vine that's like threatening you, start to pull, and you just break out with your strength and you like wriggle away. If you failed the save, then the grass has overpowered you. You are currently restrained.
What was the DC?
13.
Okay.
So in that instance, yes, you're restrained,
It's
which
just
means you
my
can't
wolves.
move, can't take a move action whatsoever. So yes, you're pinned like that, and then in addition to that, We're gonna go Dietrich.
Yeah.
Change your pace. I'm not even rolling randomly. I'm just looking at you and seeing who wants
I
the
earned
damage. I earned it. 18.
Hits.
All right. 11 points of damage.
Yep.
And another DC 14 can be escaped. This is a grapple check, so it can be either strength or dex.
And I have to beat a 14.
You have to beat a 14.
I only got a 23.
Oh my god!
Well, you're restrained.
This is so on a double note, right? Twice this damn vine's tried to entangle you, and twice you just shrugged it off.
Yeah.
So yes, perfect. Frunk, you are up, and then Flash, you're next.
Okay, so who failed?
These two.
My 2 wolves, but
You two and your wolves. Okay.
Save the wolves.
I'm fine.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea.
Hey, I said you
Droid
did.
and Wicked also failed.
Who are Droid,
Oh,
Droid and
Wicked!
Wicked? Wicked is Crayer, right? Or I
No,
keep
Wicked
getting you
is
guys
Bruce.
mixed. Wicked is Bruce.
Bruce the Sahuagin in the steam suit.
Yes.
Save the wolves.
save the wolves.
Merez is Crayer. Sorry, Merez.
Yes. All right.
Zandak
So
is good,
yes.
yeah.
So you are
So
good to
I'm
go.
going to actually use my speak with plants.
Hey.
Try and communicate here. So
Look, come on.
so the way this is worded.
Yeah. Lay it on me because I'm not
So
familiar.
plants
with
within 30 feet of me.
Which would be all of them.
I imbue them with limited sentience and animation, and giving them the ability to communicate with you and follow your simple commands. You can question plants about events in the spell's area, blah blah blah.
I have an event you could
You
ask
can
them
also
about.
turn difficult terrain caused by plant growth into ordinary terrain, or vice versa.
That's
Holy shit.
right up. Who took plant? Speak with plants. Now I'm on the front side of it.
I'm
This is-
not on the front side of it. It's just a little bit weird for a city boy, half ogre goth dude to be speaking with plants.
Oh, I have an answer for
I've
that.
been learning a lot about the world, man.
All right.
Do you remember when you plugged in
Yeah.
the Walkman for the first time? And what was the first thing? Was the
Yeah.
bestiary of accumulated Syrian knowledge of all the things? That's where this came from.
I know things I don't even know I know.
You know,
Yeah.
you know kung
We know.
fu.
He does plant food.
Plants might be able to perform other tasks at the DM's discretion.
In this instance, sorry, go ahead.
It does not enable plants to uproot themselves and move about.
Because that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would
Can
never
freely
happen.
move branches and tendrils and stalks.
Let's have a fantasy world
If
with
a
this
plant
thing.
creature is in the area, then I can communicate with it as though we share a language. And it can
Damn.
cause plants created by entangle spells to release restrained creatures. So there's two aims to my speaking here. One is let go of all my friends,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 is what the fuck are you doing with us, whatever you are, weird plant thing.
Excellent. Wow, this is OPP, and I mean overpowered plants spell. But what happens is when you talk to the actual the plants, they're just the regular plants. They're like, it commands us. But when you say,
I
well,
command you too.
right, and that's good enough for the plants, they actually release you. They release you. You're like, you feel the
Yeah.
plants kind of slip back, and in fact, the difficult terrain that was imposed by these, the ambulatory nature of the animation of it, subsides, and they
Yeah.
actually go back to the way that they were. The vine that is actually that you try to connect with as well. All you hear is eat you, eat you, eat you.
Brute.
Yeah, right.
Not as conversing.
Frunke?
Yeah, it seems like a singular mind about what it wants to do. But well done, because your companions are free and the difficult terrain has been removed.
Excellent.
I think you still have a move action if you are you prone because you were
I
sleeping?
mean, I was sleeping, so
You pop
I
up.
guess I get up, yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Cool. And then Flash, you are freed, newly freed.
So
as
what's
a-
actually going on? Are these things still around? Do they eat you parts of the plants? Are
Yes,
still
and what you
eating
see, I mean, you're not even sure you see the entirety of it, but you actually, assessing it now, you see a really thick vine, almost a predatory kind of a thing that is blended perfectly in the tall grass that has just been slipped up.
Where does it
snakes
go?
to the grass. It's right there.
No, but like, where does it lead?
Where does it lead?
Oh, into the grass.
Can we
To a
just
pot of
find
gold.
it?
I know where J
Are you
Flash
gonna
is
follow
going.
it? Yeah.
Pots of gold!
Where's the end of this thing?
Is this
I
plugged
start
in?
going towards the end of it.
You're gonna start looking to the end of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so
You guys,
There's gotta be something like a brain or something.
I got it! I think I got it!
He's
Just
like
a little
pulling ivy
more.
up around
Yeah,
the
and
edge
that
of the
way,
house.
if I'm going
It's
towards
murder if it
the
gets under the siding. We gotta get.
yeah.
if I'm going towards the trunky part, like the grappy parts can't grappy me. So it's,
Yeah, you might still be attacked by it, but I just love the. Yeah, I see.
As long as we're all lining up and holding some of it, and we just keep moving together,
Yeah.
I think maybe we'll be okay.
You get to a small gnome with little fuck. Nobody's ever thought of doing this.
it's like attached to a brain or something. Like I gotta figure this out.
Right.
Or
It's
at least,
insane, it's
or at
insane.
least roots. And
Yeah.
if we pull it up, then
Exactly.
it'll
I
shrivel
can
up
start
and die.
digging. Exactly.
I can't refute that logic. The wolves are up, and then Diedrich, you are next.
All right.
And Jivlash, your move, you actually book off.
Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah, I'm
absolutely.
going.
They looks like they've got a bite attack that I get advantage on if people are nearby. Because it's like
they are.
it's
Frunk
pack
and
tactics.
Frunk and Idle and the other wolf are all near it.
Right.
Yeah, this is danger close.
Danger close.
In a good way for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Good.
We're the danger because
Not
it's close.
danger.
So I revert to my extensive soldier of war training all the time.
19 and an 18. So
Both hit.
okay. Well, that was one attack, and they do some amount of damage. That's for sure.
Probably like
2d6 plus
12
7.
d10.
Let's not forget this character took down a Gorgon.
12.
12 damage, pierce, and then
What? I don't remember that.
I don't literally, yeah.
And then I don't know if this
Oh
is
my
possible
God.
for this
We're
monster,
stoned
but
all
it
the
says
time.
they have to
Probably don't
succeed on
remember.
a DC strength 13 or be knocked prone.
It's immune to prone.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Because it's on the
Because
ground.
it's
Yeah,
just
right.
prone.
It's a steak.
And then this is the other one got a 17 on the die, so I assume that also hits. It's like a
It does.
19,
AC 13.
20.
Okay.
And that's
Nice.
18 damage.
Okay. Another 18 damage, you say. Alright, the wolves successfully are like tearing and worrying at it. It does look like it's becoming less good for the wearer. Diedrich, you're up, and then Idle, you'll be next.
So I saw the grass come up and try to get me.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why, but it all receded again
Yeah,
after
yeah.
I like flexed on it.
Yeah.
So I just screamed, "That's right, grass! You'd better run!" and swing all my axe attacks at the vine. Do you need to know which of these are magical?
I do not. I was
Okay.
just doing
Just-
that.
you're just-
tough.
Oh my
Alright.
god.
I'm
So-
just playing the tough.
The lowest is a 14, and I will trigger my distracting strike. So I got
All hits.
5, 13, 14, 22, 25 total from the 3 hits.
25 total.
And it's and from my yelling, it's distracted, so the next attack against it has advantage.
That's incredible. Even if it doesn't really have a...
It's a plant.
Yeah, it's a plant, but still...
Like
is
a
it-
fertilizer.
I always describe
Fertilizer.
it as yelling, but it actually only has to see me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just flailing at it. I'm basically inflatable arm
It's-
flailing dragonborn.
Yeah, it's
Right,
trying to
right,
dodge
yeah.
you, and so someone else has an easier chance
Exactly.
of getting a hit on.
All right. Excellent. Idle, you are up, and then Varys,
Okay.
you're next, improbably.
I'm gonna attack with my magic dagger.
Excellent.
Uh,
The blade goes snicker snack.
sure does.
That's a good
So
one.
that's
rolling the green die.
27 to hit.
Yeah, that'll moderately hit.
I will, and I'll attack it with my other
See why I thought
dagger.
that
Hits
working
it
would be
twice.
okay. Actually,
It
yeah,
does.
it
Yeah.
does.
And that's a 23.
Damage?
No,
Oh yeah,
With
to
the
hit.
other dagger,
yeah,
sorry.
Ching ching. Both daggers.
but
Now you have
anything
sneak
that
attack.
anything that I get advantage on, I can roll sneak attack damage on, and my sneak attack is now 3d6. So that's awesome. So it could
Level 5.
well be. Anyway, let's
Welcome to
see.
Lebs.
So, well, that's a lot of low numbers, but that's okay. So, thanks. How do you do that so fast? I didn't even register each number by the time you said that.
I know, isn't it uncanny? It's...
It's like I have to log each one and then slowly add them together.
I have really dumb superpowers.
That's a great
Also,
superpower
that
for
is
playing D&D,
The
though.
marveling causes the efficiency offset.
Right.
We're back to the same amount of time.
Actually, it's
Just
gone.
add the
We've gone
numbers.
backwards.
Anyway,
Oh, no.
10 plus 5. So that's
Here's the worst superpower.
yeah, that's 15 damage in total.
15 damage in total. Nicely done.
Wait, I didn't roll the damage for the second dagger. Wait.
There's always that
The
one.
true superpower is actually
Okay,
distraction.
so that's a 6. So 21.
You're really
21
good at
total?
it.
Yes.
All right. This thing is hacked to shit, but it has nowhere to flee, so it will continue its
Perfect.
Well, it'll offer its life up to Varys, who I can.
Oh, hey, yeah.
I'm still alive.
Not for long. And
You-
I
you
get
have
its
advantage.
keen scent. Yeah, it's that thing. So 18 to hit.
That hits.
15.
That totally kills it. You hack it apart.
I eat it.
Yeah, actually, it's very satisfying. But Shvash, when you actually go, you see that it weirdly, it's not unlike a snake, basically, in that it does actually just have an end to it. It just had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it looks like it kind of just very slowly just like ambles through vegetation where it can use its natural camouflage and then just strangles the life out of things it finds and somehow consumes them.
It's a plant snake.
A little bit like a plant snake.
That's
Mystery
Not-
solved.
Right. The coolest parts of plants and snakes.
Right.
Plant snake. Yeah. Also called an assassin vine. That's an old school jungle thing. But yeah, so yeah, you hack it down. Now, unfortunately, also you cast about the area, but you don't seem to find any treasure. It looks like there were not deep pockets on that assassin vine. So, more credibly, tonight you only get a short rest because of
Unless you have like the 4-hour thing, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so-
Yes, it's where the elves come in, where the pure elves come in.
You have something where we get extra hit dice on short rests, right, or something?
Yes.
How does that work? Or do you have to activate it?
Song of Rest.
Song of Rest. For me, that was Cure Disintegration. Back in the day. The whole album. I went to bed.
So you get
like we all just stared at him. We are no help to you. There's at some point we're gonna be doing this, and you're just gonna write a save me.
I am very happy with the party. The party treats me well.
So you get an extra D6.
Oh, nice. Sorry, I was too busy.
You're the
making
only
fun
one who
of
took
Mark.
damage, though, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just keep that going. Let's pad the stream a little. That's good.
Your call is very important to us.
The party
We will
be
put you with a real DM in mere moments. We're all sort of busy.
We're all sort of- Oh, that's nice. You feel free to continue to play as I
Keep us moving.
So morning dawns. Outside, it's a bright and fresh morning. We're gonna try to go there. You can continue further across the rolling savanna plains. You can see ahead of you, actually, that maybe in another, by end of tonight, I'd reckon. You actually will start
You're gonna mosey on down.
You'll start to get to, I'd say, just a passing outside of the desert. Now, don't be frightened, because that story's going to be coming up a rears on you real soon. In the meantime, let me tell you a little
Okay,
bit
you can
about-
stop with the guitar.
Don't be shy, friends. All right, yes, it's true.
Getting
The work
worse.
as you motor through the grasslands, as you continue a ways, you actually start to get into a copse now where of trees. You're starting to enter back into the actual taller trees, more of the traditional jungle, kind of getting outside of that savanna. You're pushing through for the day. And you actually get up to, you spot it in a clearing in the jungle. A ship.
A ship?
Ship.
A ship. Well, to be clear, it's more the wreckage of a ship. How a sailing ship possibly got into the middle of an island is anyone's guess, but from far away, and I would say in the clear area, you're maybe like 30 yards away. So you spot it. Sometimes you see it. It is definitely wreckage. That appears that it somehow ended up sinking there or whatever. And you also see that it actually has all sorts of crystalline growths all over its shattered hull.
Do the crystalline growths seem new?
No, they seem like they've been there of an accord.
I mean, do they look like they're a part of the ship, or do they look like they are part of the wreck?
They look like a growth.
Okay.
Yeah, something that came...
You said your island was sinking, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is it
Not
possible that
raising.
Not the opposite, yeah.
But maybe it's on the downward cycle.
If there were
Wrapped around.
another ocean above us. No.
Wait, yeah.
Doesn't seem possible. Not saying it's impossible.
Can I approach the ship?
Absolutely. You can always approach things.
Okay. I'd like to investigate the ship. Give it a thorough sort of analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could use my water vehicle's proficiency to see if there's any clues as to how the ship got here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I would like.
So that's a 13.
Okay, I'll pin that for a
Yep.
moment. Idle.
I would like to get within 30 feet, but not much closer, and use my mage hand to poke around and make sure there's nothing that's going to explode.
Okay. And are you maybe staying outside of that range as well?
No, I'm getting on the ship.
You're getting on the show? Okay, great. You start
I'm
moving around.
going below decks. I'm checking the whole thing out.
All right. So first off, when you're that check,
Yeah.
something that you notice right away is that there's something fundamentally wrong with the sails, and it could have been that whatever happened to shipwreck it there may have done this, but there's more sails than you would think it should have, and those sails, the masts, are actually bent and protruding from its sides, which, as you know, just fundamentally, that would put some of the sails under the water line.
They aren't deck masts. These are some other kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a central sail that has been bent and crushed, and whatever filament it had actually is now missing. But even like looking at that, you think, of course, the Sirens are very powerful, so who knows how they were able to propel their sailing craft. But that doesn't seem like enough sail in and of itself. But of more interest is the fact that there's the sails that are actually around the craft itself that are actually bent and twisted and pushed into the dirt and growing it. And that seems really weird as well. Also missing most of the filaments from them. The hull is crushed open, so you're not sure what would have eventually, caused this damage to have occurred. Quickly poking around, you're like push things. The crystals seem like they are growing straight out of the wooden hull, which it is wood. Of what exact wood, you're not sure, but for the most part, it's made out of some polished wood. Some aspects of it are metal that look like it just sort of seamlessly fuses into the wood. That's Siren artifice for you. Yeah.
Faceless, I have solved the mystery of this ship. The Sirens built the worst boat of all time. They put the sails in the wrong places. When they realized the mistake they had made, they dragged it into the jungle and destroyed it with rocks.
Seems plausible.
Can I do like an Arcana check or something to see if there's anything magical, Siren magical going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. You just put it. Yes. Oh.
That was a nat 20.
There's some arcana. You're gonna
So,
arcane the
27
arcanist.
total.
From all the time spent communing with the Siren devices, you aren't sure, because this doesn't happen on a top of mind level. It's just sort of like you're just looking around and kind of divining the craft itself. You get into where the helm would be, but there's not a traditional steering wheel like you would assume. There's like different kinds of levers and things like that. But you're drawn to this one area where there's like, it looks like some kind of a bracelet, a bracer that is actually there on the control panel itself that is actually still emanating magic and seems somehow still to have some fundamental power in relationship to the ship. Not saying that it could operate the ship right now because the ship looks totally fucked, but it does look like it was part of the ship at one point.
I had put my Walkman on and got the tunes going as I walked around to try and get in their headspace and learn about this stuff. And I walk up and try and put my hand in and see what I can do.
It like not terrifyingly, snugly, empoweringly just clips to your arm, and when you lift up, it's just now on your arm. And it's pretty fucking cool. It's a pretty cool
All right.
Looks good.
More I can do with it. Is it just
Uh,
decoration I now have?
It's currently just decoration you now have. You feel like with a little bit of the magic word attunement, you actually think that you could actually understand its power. What you think now with such a dynamite roll, first off, you found it, like circumventing an entire search thing that could have happened. So that's awesome. But then also, yeah, the fact that you understand it grants some kind of access. It is an access
Okay.
of some kind, a key, if you will.
Okay.
Hey, navigator.
Wow, pilot, are we seeing the same thing? Because I know what I'm seeing.
It looks like a ship that's crashed and has sails in funny places.
It does.
Do
It
you,
does.
do you know anything about
It didn't
this
have an
situation?
navigator.
Well, of course I do, pilot. It crashed here. A shame. I assume that it happened during the time of the cataclysm, whatever that is. I still do not know.
So, okay, if you don't know what the cataclysm is, what could make a ship reach this far inland without being totally destroyed?
Oh, well, pilot. It would have just been sailing into here, wouldn't it have?
Was this place underwater?
There's a momentary pause at this. And even though, Navigator, you are close, and you think of it as still, I assume, just kind of a magical construct, there's a moment of awkward silence, as maybe it almost seems embarrassed for you. And it says, no, pilot, it would have been flying in the air, of course.
Idle, your orb is broken.
Yeah, that's not,
Sounds cool.
I know this, well, I guess you can use magic to make people fly, and small things fly, and dragons fly, and they're a little too big to really be able to do that when you think about it.
Ferris
So-
can become an octopus.
Yeah, I was like, I can turn into things.
He can. So you're
But he
telling me
can't
But he
fly.
can't fly.
I mean,
Just give me a bit. I'm working on it.
we just need to find a wizard that can cast fly, and then we can make him fly. But that's all beside the point. You're saying that the Sirens had magical flying ships?
It was the only kind of ships they had after a while, in
I
what I
guess
sadly assume was the final age.
I suppose if you could fly them through the air, you wouldn't really need to sail them through the
All
water.
this really
That's the word I was
means
looking
that-
for.
all,
Says
this,
boat.
all this actually means is that at some point we'll get our own fucking flying ship.
Yes, it does.
So
That's-
let's get on that. Let's get a flying
So,
ship.
yeah.
But first, we have to light our old ship on fire.
They call you the navigator. Is that because you were involved in flying ships?
Yes, I am a helm of a ship, and you are the pilot.
Can you
And this is the crew.
Can you get any information from this wreck?
It's silent for a moment, and it comes back and it says, whatever happened, those signs are very distant, and I cannot yet divine what happened to this ship. However,
There's no like black box or
kind of. I mean, it's like not meta, but yeah, it basically what it tells you is that something obviously happened to it to bring it down. It postulates that it could have been around the time of the cataclysm, whatever happened. But in terms of what specifically happened, it can't tell you. But Navigator does say it would be possible for that to be the case, like a black box. Meta, but yeah.
Yep.
But it's been a really long time,
Yep.
and so that's kind of faded. Now, that is very Varys of you, Mr. Diedrich. In terms of what else you learn beyond that, if you're searching about, and I know you're Mage Hand searching about, if you want to, each of you do an investigation, which I think is int, isn't it? Int
I
investigation.
think so. Yep.
Yep, it's int investigation,
Fine.
and let me know.
I got a 15.
Nice.
18.
Nice on yous. On yous both. One moment, por favore. Yes. Well done and well done. So, betwixt the two of you, scattered here and there about the deck boards and what's left of the, and around the crystalline structure, you actually find coins. And they are Siren coins. And Navigator actually will confirm that. So 21 Siren coins from the Siren Super Kingdoms. These are vanishingly rare.
Sure.
Even in the Rune Academy, they actually never had Siren currency.
Really?
Yeah.
You say?
So I actually
I have some
I'll
plans
tell you,
for tonight.
you don't even know the gold piece value. Of
You
these.
say how many did you say?
21.
21.
You don't even know the gold piece value of these because you quite literally you've never been able to.
Well,
Nobody's
I
ever
bet I can forge some that will sell for a lot of money on the black market.
Right. That's
I'm
the
not
real-
letting any of these go, but I'm gonna make some really damn good reproductions.
Idol, could I see one of those coins,
No.
please, that we found together? That I helped
Sure,
you find?
fine,
Could I hold
okay.
one?
Yep.
I put it down on the deck, and I want to see if I can stab my adamantine searing spear through the center of
I
it
got
to
no,
pierce the
please,
middle.
mage hands, I snatch it back.
Oh, there's got to be a dex roll off. Dex
Yeah,
roll off.
yeah,
Dex roll
yeah.
off. Dex roll off.
I know who's gonna lose.
Is this what
I
is
think
it? Just
my roll-
straight
With your-
dex
yeah,
or
straight
sleight of
dex.
hand?
Straight-
Or-
I'm pretty sure my
Straight
roll
dex.
is lower than your
'Cause
modifier,
this is just
so it's
speed.
fine.
Okay, because straight dex is a 14.
Yeah, 8.
If it were sleight of hand, it would have been 20.
All right.
Yeah.
Deidre goes up,
Yep.
and you
Coin's not there.
Yep.
boom. Oh, but you tell you what, the spear just went straight. Oh, you crushed it. You must have crushed it. It was so satisfying.
Yeah, definitely. How could you do that? You
How else could I make
destroyed
a necklace?
priceless artifact?
Yes, it's a priceless trophy.
You just crushed it into tiny little pieces. They're so small I can't even see them anymore.
Fine.
And with that, yes, you get the necklace. It appears that the ship itself has been plumbed of its goodies. And then from the center of the deck, it explodes up, and you see this creature that is burst up out of the ground, crashing hungrily through the deck boards of the ship itself.
Why you fucking stabbed the ship and now it's angry at us? What the shit?
I'll change
dude?
it back.
What's really killing me is I have about 50 of these fucking minis, and I could not find one. It was a common miniature back in the day. It's a belay. Okay?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's a million belays around
Just
this
picture a
place.
hedgehog with a helmet.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of
What
it.
kind of like
This is what it's a
bullets with
burrowing
legs?
engine of eating destruction, which shouldn't freak anybody out.
That could be redeemed.
Yeah, probably, actually, right? But I'm going to show you a picture of it because it's the best we got, and then we're going to have to use a fucking displacer beast. Again. Again. What really sucks is how many belays I have.
We could use this. That's close.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I swear we had a bazillion belays. All right.
It's more like a bear.
I also
A bear
I
leg.
pulled a displacer beast just because, and then we're all going to roll initiative. If you're going to do that, so that's what a belay looks like.
Whoa.
And they're
Bullet with
large.
legs.
I just want to climb into his mouth and cuddle.
Right.
That's his plan too.
Yeah, he just wants you to climb into his mouth and come over.
Looks like if they had one in a zoo, they would make a viral video of it eating pumpkins or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has a surprise round because that's how boulets work.
Or like
But
gnawing on the glass while a baby sits totally safe in front of it.
Safe, definitely.
which is good because its regular turn sucks. All right, let us do a little initiative, and then we'll continue with this exciting.
Does anybody beat a 5?
Yes,
I
Yes.
do.
No.
Idol. What did you get?
Actually.
10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I rolled
Aw,
really
man,
bad.
You're leading me down.
I was
Alright, then-
feeling enraged by the necklace encounter. I have a 20 on initiative.
Oh.
And I'm gonna use my turn to take that
I know.
coin.
Get
back.
that coin.
Yeah.
Does Idol look distracted?
I got a 3.
Oh.
Nat 1.
Well, that makes
Wow.
me feel a little better.
So we got a nat 20 and a nat 1
Yeah.
in this initiative.
Well,
This encounter has balanced itself out. There's still a couple nat 20s that we're gonna have to pay for later.
Well, if ever there was a time to actually let it out, it's with the belay. Let's see. Actually, of course I had to do that. What's going to matter with those damn wolves? All right, so you got Dietrich on a 20.
wolves. There are no wolves.
Well, there will be. Although, do keep track. Of course you will,
Spoilers.
Paul. I know you're very
Yeah.
conscientious about that. But because, you got that's right, you're elves.
We got 4
so
hours of
you
sleep
got-
afterwards.
There's no keeping track. All right, Dietrich on a 20. Idol on a 10. Flash on a 10. Varys on a 3. I'm sorry, Frank. What did you get?
5.
Oh, hey, nice. Of course it is. I know. Is that funny when everything goes to hell?
Mira says bulettes are adorable while we're being attacked by bullets. No,
It's
don't
true.
hurt it.
They're right though.
Just
It's
leave
true.
it. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. So first, though, actually, I do want to clear this because this is a little bit, believe it or not, we're
Can we
miniatures
name
marker.
him? Can we name him Robert?
Jeez, Jay.
Robert Boulet.
Robert,
I was gonna say Bill.
Oh, I like that one.
Boule Bill.
Boulet.
I need
That
a
is
large.
basically
I need this sized mini tragically. So that is, I think, still it's a large creature. So I'm gonna draw quickly a. I keep saying that as if that will make you all believe. Where's Statue Friend, by the way?
He's just hanging.
He's hanging.
He's always with me.
Are you like?
What is this?
This is the broken remain
Okay.
of the.
Mark
We'll
is
do
yet
this.
again
We're gonna help
going
you
to
out.
draw a ship.
And this time you're all gonna love it.
It's deliberately messed up this time.
Exactly. See, that's what I have to do. I just have to actually stat out ships that are fundamentally broken
Those are its
at the
sails.
top. Yeah. I can pretend like that.
2 giant oars, maybe.
Yeah, that is actually supposed to be a perspective, right? That is like bent and then crunched over, and then another one kind of, and then a little bit of like the. Right. So those are actually up and bent over.
So was
Which
I
is
the only
also-
one actually on the decks?
That is no. There was at least I was
I wouldn't
30
know that.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
you're the
was
only
up
ones.
in there with the bracelet.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
you
right.
took the
So
bracelet.
Frank, you would have been somewhere around the helm.
Okay.
Well, Idol took the thing from you, so.
But she did it with
With
Mage
Mage
Hand.
Oh,
She
Mage
did
Hand.
from
Got
the-
it. Sorry, missed that.
Yep. You think
Oh,
I'm gonna
I
reach
don't-
under the
Where
spear?
do you want
like,
to be?
Yes, so
For one of those,
for
yes.
30
it's 30 somewhere
away.
there. You were 30 away, as I recall.
Yeah, let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There we
All right.
Which one's
There you all are. All right.
Varys is.
go. Depends on which animal he's
Right,
tending to
yeah.
at the
Where's the
time.
giant squid?
Good enough to start with.
Hey, there's
So-
our there's
Oh,
our
no.
TV.
Ah,
Woo!
Why
Oh,
can't-
I
oh,
was
it's not
nice.
fixing. It came loose.
Opposite of fixing.
Does that? Are you all seeing this? Are you
It's
seeing that if I
stuck.
do this, it clearly touches both minis?
Yes.
This
yes.
is a very
You got it.
important
Everything's
thing
fine.
Okay.
I didn't.
because
Rubago's at home cringing.
Blaze
as I
have a
use
thing
the
called
cameras.
Deadly Leap as part of their move,
Oh boy.
erupting up out of the thing. So first and foremost, everybody please, or actually I should say Frank and Diedrich, please give me a DC 16 Strength or Dex check roll.
Nope.
Ability.
19.
11 for me.
All right. So I'm gonna go very slowly because these things are tough critters. So first and foremost, that's a shit roll. All right. Hold on. 13. All right. Not done yet. I know.
This is
Because I also want to narrate this with the most dramatic effect possible. And plus, this is going to give you Flash some healing opportunity.
That's what you want to hear.
Opportunity.
Don't worry.
one way
He'll,
to
yeah,
think
he'll be
about
able to
it.
heal everyone.
He
in a
doesn't
minute.
gain ult charge from it. It doesn't actually matter. It just wastes his abilities.
So, who made you
Utilizes.
I succeeded.
and I failed.
All right. So, you take 13 points on a save.
I succeed.
I know,
Okay,
right?
fine.
Yes.
I'm going to assume I'm taking 26.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is what happens.
Ouch.
The creature explodes up, out, and lands in the space where you see your two companions. It lands. Frank, fortunately, in a dexterous move, is able to be pushed 5 away. So he basically leaps out of the way and retains his footing. Statue Friend also leaps in place, but retains its footing. Diedrich, unfortunately, has been pinned by the creature.
Okay.
So you were bludgeoned by the impact and then savaged by the sharp plates that adorn its body. And it lands on you, that's the 26, and you're knocked prone.
Okay.
It's not actually grappling you or anything
So
like
I could
that. but
stand.
it's- yeah, it's like on you, it's like, rah!
Yeah.
And with one thunderous snap of its jaws, pow! You hear it clap. And now the initiative begins. Diedrich, you were up.
Yeah. I'm going to dig my axes into its neck and use that to hoist myself up.
Wonderful.
So I'm going to stand and use my full
yeah,
attack
no,
action is what I mean.
love the description.
All right. And I'm going to turn one of these into a goading attack, assuming it hits. So that is a 23,
Hit.
23, and 9.
9 is a miss. 23 is a hit.
So the first, oh, that's the wrong die. So the first one is a goading attack for 16 damage,
Okay.
and then another 7 damage from the second hit, which is normal. So
Oh, great. So yeah, they all hit. So total damage is
23 total,
23
and
damage
then it
total.
has to make a wisdom save to avoid being goaded. DC 14.
Wait, goaded into attacking you?
Yeah,
Oh god.
yeah. Come at me, bro. Bullet, bro.
You just took a bunch of damage, right?
I can take some more.
Okay.
I love.
As long as you're doing this to yourself, you know.
Oh god. All right. So wonderful. Yeah, your axes dig in and you hoist yourself up. You see
I'm just trying to make eye
rivulets
contact with
of
it.
Boule blood
Yeah.
like split. You actually, when you see your companion stand up, it's like to the elbows in blood from this creature already. And then the goading attack was
Wisdom save DC 14.
Oh wow! I'm actually kind of glad about this. I rolled a crit.
Okay.
At 20, but only so.
Only so you don't have to attack me.
You
You know what?
That's
Action surge.
All right. And he probably will anyways because these things are not super smart, and you are the meal.
Yeah.
Right. Bird in hand, dragonborn in hand, I suppose. All right. That's great. That damage is done. It's been.
I am action searching.
Oh yeah.
When I
yeah.
see that it's not properly intimidated by me,
Yeah.
I'm going in for more. So one of those is a crit miss. The other is a 24 to hit
24
for another
hits.
9 damage.
Okay, another 9.
Yep.
You're definitely carving up this creature. It is, however, it looks like it's quite a substantial beast.
Yeah.
But you do that. The critical miss. When you strike, you actually your arm goes numb, and your axe. I'm going to say it's the non-magical
Sure.
one. Click, 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 and spins just outside of your reach at the deck.
Yep.
All right.
I've still got more. I've lost 3 since buying extra, but
I
I've
know.
got more.
But really, people can track you with your
Yeah.
axes.
Yeah,
I
I
think
am.
Dietrich's been this way. It's like, could have been only 2 days ago. Idle, you're up. Shaflash, you're next.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I get sneak attack damage if this hits. So that's 14.
That is a miss.
Damn.
Profoundly, your arrow just goes pew
Wow.
off of its plated hide.
That's too bad.
Maintain sight contact with Dietrich.
I'm just gonna
You're up.
use the turn to run 30 feet to try to get up there, get in between this thing and Diedrich.
Yeah.
Get ready to rebuke.
Now,
Some
where
damage.
boots are you? You're
I'm
right.
the red guy, yeah.
Yeah.
that's
So
me.
5, 10, 15, 20, because I don't care about Diego. 25, 30. So you get what to go.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Right in there.
Remember, you also, it didn't matter this time, but remember, Badge of Brial lets you boost an extra 15 if you actually need to,
nice.
to ever use it. All right, you get up there and then you're ready for
Yep, just
Okay.
to interfere.
in the potential slaughter. We don't know. Frunk, you're up.
Okay, so I'm gonna start shouting, "Hey! I see he got pinned in trouble. Not that he gives a shit, but I'm worried for him." And I start shouting, "Hey! Hey! Hey!" I'm trying to get his attention. Hey! And by the way, I'm shouting it rhythmically enough that he gets gets bardic inspiration.
It's like it's like a Ramon song. Really.
Yeah. Hey!
Hey,
Hey!
ho,
Fucking
over here.
It's like every remote. It's like, hey, oh, let's go.
Yeah. And I cast Thunder Wave and try and just knock it away from him.
Right on. So it's a large creature. Thunderwave works on large.
It doesn't say it doesn't work on large.
This touche.
There's no
well
rule that says a
argued.
dog can't play basketball.
So
Actually, there are.
There are 5 now.
I'm basically quasi
Jerry, can you pass me the
inadvisable and eat a Snickers bar
so
because Snickers really does satisfy.
it has to make
It's good.
a Constitution save.
Does a 7 work?
It would need to be 12.
Mm-mm.
So
That's
then,
stunning that this thing failed a con save.
so then it
And passed a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
so it takes 10 damage and then gets shoved 10 feet away. It gets pushed back 10 feet, which I'm kind of hoping is into that that break in the hull right there.
Well,
But
let's see. 5, 10.
It's pretty big.
It is pretty big. So what happens is it shuffles. It doesn't go like, right. This is large creatures, very large creatures. It's like a Volkswagen Bug, or larger. But it does get shifted over, and you see like actually a part of its bulk like shimmies down into the crack. You see like scrabbling. You believe that on its turn it'll probably be able to hoist itself back up. But for now it's like, yeah, in between that cracked area. Well done. And it damage success. Well, let's find out what does happen. Oh my gosh. It does, in fact. Oh, man.
Come at me. Do it.
Come at me, Brole.
Yeah, I couldn't decide.
You
on
tried.
Brole.
Brole. There we go.
There
It
you go.
leaps, it
Definitely
leaps
said that.
back, and it does the same thing.
Oh yeah.
So this is going to
Strength
be,
save again.
yeah, I mean,
Jumpy,
because it's
jumpy.
deadly leap is a thing. It's a standing hopping critter.
Can I protect? Can I make you roll? Do you have to roll?
I don't have to roll to do this. What it is as part of its move,
Ah.
I can leap 15 feet, like without a running start. It's just like a weird hopping belay. And then it can land in the PC's space, like covering them, forcing everybody to do a DC 16 strength or dex check. And if you guys escape or whatever, you add a proficiency.
So I failed that, so I'm burning my normal inspiration, not my bardic inspiration, to get the other die. Yeah, there we go. So 22.
Great, that makes it. You
So
really do want to make...
not athletics, just straight up strength.
Or dex, whichever is...
Yeah.
It's a,
And if you have
it's
athletics...
a save.
Yeah, it's a save.
Oh, that's good. 17.
Wonderful. I'm relieved
Wunderbar.
that you made this save, friends, because you're not prone.
Right.
Actually, I'm just going to roll, if we all
I'm not
can
prone.
agree to this, I'm just going to roll half the damage and just...
Instead of rolling full damage
Yes.
and having it.
5, 8, that's it, 12 points of damage.
Okay.
You each take 12 points of damage. And interestingly, Deidre, you are pushed. It's actually your option. So let me just say this. You were here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Flash, you were here. So you are pushed 5 feet away. You can pick players where you actually are pushed.
From
Because
there.
it's basically a dodge away. But if you do go down the crack, you will actually be down.
Yeah. I'm going to stay engaged with it on that little corner there.
I'm literally gonna just try to bunker.
All right.
Like to
Yeah.
stay under
So-
it.
Yep.
All right, so be that at least.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Varys, you're up, and then Diedrich, top of the order.
So I've never played a druid before, so sometimes you guys will just have to bear with me.
Turn.
Oh.
But, I turn into a
All
bear.
right, I'm done.
Yeah.
But you're hitting all the right notes.
Yeah, right? I got this.
I got this.
Can I walk over this thing? Whatever that is. And if I get here, can I attack him, or do I have to go up something?
You're also pretty big, I believe, so you can probably attack its legs.
Okay, then I go
Take those broken wings.
up here, and I've got as a bear, I have 2 attacks, a bite and a claw. So my bite is a 13 to hit.
That's a miss.
Dang it. And the other one is 21 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and that one.
This is like trotting out all of the various classics. If you get trying to work an octopus in, then you would back
Yeah,
for
Paul's
that.
just-
I'll get
just
there.
catching
Hang
up.
on. Yeah,
Like
right.
the first episode on, gotta get the bear puns out of the way.
Later
Becomes
becomes
each animal.
I had various training. No, so that's 13 total damage on that claw that hit.
All right, that is cool. All right, you savage it up. Diedrich, here you go. You got
Yeah,
the
alright, so I'm
leg.
going to use my bonus action to second wind. I'm going to get some health back. Yeah, I'm going to get some health back.
And you're gonna taunt again?
Right.
Now I am.
A fresh set of taunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to swing with my... So I use my bonus action, so it's only 2 attacks instead of 3, because I can't use my offhand.
Oh, that's right, because you all got bonus attack. Or a lot of
Yep.
the martial characters did, right?
Yep. So that's a 23 and a 23.
Boom, boom, hits.
I'll turn one of them into a goading attack.
Strike.
So that is 21 damage, and he has to make a whiz save again.
Oh, boy. All right, you said 21 damage.
21 between the 2 hits and the goading attack.
All right, so for starters, that is a profound amount of damage. So congratulations. That is a lot of damage for that poor critter. So, yeah, it doesn't make it.
Alright, so he has disadvantage on all attack rolls against people other than me for 1 turn.
Okay, I like the called shot on that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool, Diedrich. All right, and then Idle, you're up. You see, this thing seems like it's determined to just lay waste to Diedrich.
Oh, I'm gonna keep shooting it.
It says.
I
I thought those are crit.
No, it's a 19.
19 hits.
Yay, and I get sneak attack damage. I think I need an extra d6. Okay, so 7, and then 11. Right. Wait, plus 4, so 15.
15 damage. You see, Idle, your arrow strike in through the neck plate of it, and as it growls, you see blood starting to pour out of its mouth. It looks like you may have struck something arterial.
Good.
It's still lumbering about barely, but it's like
Barely, you say.
I think
Yeah.
Varys is lumbering about.
Yeah.
Flash, you are up. You see this creature spitting blood and tottering.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Do
Not
it.
doing anything.
Do it.
Alright, bash it with my shield.
Yes! Why not?
Sure.
Do it, Flash.
I got a 12.
No!
Wait, what? Really?
But you can add your proficiency to your shield. We decided you
what's-
can.
What?
What proficiency?
Would be
Your standard
3.
proficiency
Yeah,
is plus
this one,
3.
yeah.
Easy
Yeah.
Oh, I
bonus.
see. So
Yeah.
15.
15.
There you go.
Yeah, it's still a miss. But at least it's a little bit better. That's all right. So all right, but you just put your back into it, and you notice that your shield now has a bloody nose.
Alright.
Yeah, make him feel bad about it. He'll never do it again.
I know. As soon as I said that, actually, I'm like,
But it's
don't do
the
that,
good
don't
kind
do
of
that.
bloody
I'm gonna do it again. It's cool. And you can still interpose because you were going to Frunk.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull out my sword, which I suddenly realize as I unsheath. I remember it's this beautiful, shiny, magic adamantine sword that I've never used before, and I get distracted for a second, and then I just post up and charge towards it, just trying to plunge directly into it from behind here. That
Sweet.
Nice.
it's gonna be a 14.
You actually, that is a really dynamite blade, and it is distracting one last time before you strike it. You're like, God, that is a really great looking blade. And then you just don't quite get the tip in reading to it. It just goes, and it sheens off, and it's still up. All right, Boulay, you're next. Boulay that. All right, Diedrich, it failed. It's gonna come for you.
I'm looking right into its eyes.
Aww.
19 plus 7 is 26.
Does that hit?
I believe it does.
Well,
No.
Gotta try harder.
Yeah.
can I do protection? Can I make you roll at a disadvantage?
Yeah, you absolutely can, and
Then
I
I'm
hope you
doing
do.
that.
All right, I really hope you do.
Roll another d20.
There's a horrific amount of damage out of this bite.
Come at me.
Oh my god!
Well, so you
prevent
the first
you,
one.
You prevented
Is that a nat 20?
Yeah, I
The
prevented
crit
the
is not the standing
you
roll.
still take the worst one.
The 27, the bad one.
Yeah, that would be the bad one. So we're gonna get through this together because this is the.
I mean, they're gonna get.
Yeah.
By we, you mean Varys and his 2 wolves.
You're unfortunately gonna be pulled apart.
40-12 plus 4.
Come at me.
Holy shit, that's so much.
15.
Yep.
And 12.
Yep.
27
Yep.
plus 4. 31.
That is my exact hit point total. I go to 0.
Rebuke the
Rebuke.
Yeah.
violent.
Oh! Now,
That doesn't.
It doesn't.
take
It
away.
doesn't stop
take it
it.
away.
But it does.
Yeah.
but here's the thing: you will explode that thing.
Yeah.
It's almost dead if you want to, because isn't that a daily? That's like a long rest for you.
No, man, fucking do it!
Don't
But he's
tell
very
him
Don't
that.
listen to the
angry. Yeah,
DM.
he's very angry right now.
Yeah.
Rebuke that
Cinematic.
shit.
So you're gonna take half of your damage regardless, but you also have to roll. You have the book, but you have.
It has 3 hit points left.
Oh,
So what-
It explodes.
It explodes. Would you like to describe how it explodes?
Very messily.
As it chomps on me.
Yeah, it takes the bite, and as soon as it takes the bite, it's like it bites in, and it just like, it's like it's rebounding off of his body and just explodes.
Just inverts around
Yeah.
its own jaw.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm just laying unconscious in the middle of its gibs.
And I'm just admiring my sword. That
It's
gets
okay.
Covered
We'll wake you up in the middle of this shit.
Ugh, gross, Jaflash. That was
and I
unnecessary.
immediately move over and 15 points of damage. Lay on hands.
Finish him.
Finish him.
Inflict wounds.
Your one and only chance.
15 points of
Do we win?
laying on hands.
Yeah, that's the best part about
Yeah.
being 0, right?
Yeah. Did anyone see what happened to that dragon?
Nope.
All right.
That is awesome. Yes, there's chunks of belay everywhere, thanks to Flash's spell and all of the great work that you guys did. The Syrian ship is even worse repair than ever before. One of the interesting things about that sword effect, probably owing to its magical nature and its exotic thing, it never had an ounce of rust on it. And from being down in the corpse murk for as long as it was, where you had discovered it, like it never had a single blemish on it. And even now, you joked about the blood very quickly just like falls off as if it had like
Nice.
a Teflon
Ooh,
coating.
that's handy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well
right?
seasoned.
Yeah, that's a well-seasoned
Don't
blade.
use
I
soap
rub
to
Crisco
wash
on
it.
Now let us
Ugh,
see.
that was
We're
You
just
could rub
gonna-
salt on it to get rid of some blemishes if you need to.
Now
It doesn't have any blemishes.
Perfect. You never have to rub salt on it then.
that was towards dusk, was it not?
Sure.
We saw it through the jungle. You had pushed through the cops. Yes, actually, I believe that it
There were
was.
cops?
I thought you were cool, man. I thought you were cool, trees.
They had to say they were cops.
Apparently, chat crew found 2 baby belay out in the
What is
around.
happening?
There was a second
One
blade
was
that came
given
up
to-
by
yeah,
Critter,
one was given to
or
some
Torf-
guy.
Let's take a
something?
moment to.
They
DM
just,
needs to catch up. So what happened, baby belays? I love it. Do you know how
Yeah.
Bruce knows that those are just good eating?
We need a previously on Twitch chat.
We do. We need a previously on Twitch chat.
There was a whole second half of the battle playing out as we did our battle over there. It's mostly gone now, but there was some taming of a second belay and telling it
I
to
didn't
go
see
back in
that,
the
but
room.
like
Okay.
I sort of have this story of that was the mama belay that I just exploded.
Yeah.
Aw. A baby belay pokes its head up out of the hole.
Are we adopting the
Who
babies or
found the
cooking them for dinner?
Says
It could be
Torfin
both.
found them, and they're now on Prayer's shell.
All right. So 2 baby belays, thanks to Torfin's foraging. And Bruce, you were looking for Syrian cooking supplies in the galley. That's really interesting. So you give me a foraging check at advantage, so you can Mubot twice, and let's see what you're able to find out about all of those things. Meanwhile, back at the party.
Ooh, if we have 2, we can name one of them Bill and the other one was it
Robert.
Tom?
Robert.
Robert.
Robert,
There you go.
yeah,
It's like they named themselves.
2 belay.
And then we can eat them?
Food tastes better if
Yeah.
you give it a name.
I'm not going to tell the rest of the party that we're going to eat them, but I am giving Bruce a meaningful look and
I'm just saying, if you know what I mean.
But that's a crit. Well, you got advantage though, so do it again.
And then it's camp time as the evening approaches. Well, actually, I should say, what do you want to do? It is starting to be evening again. You are now getting back into the jungle. Behind you is still the savannah.
Well, the ship gives us some shelter.
Yeah, I would actually stay with the ship
Yeah.
at this point.
So our advantage.
Plus, what if it
roll
starts flying?
Got a 5.
Oh dear.
Ouch.
Even on
The
a
Yeah,
foraging,
there's a
foraging,
crit one and
as
then
a
a
5.
You know, it's been a really long time, and it looks like the galley was picked over, or perhaps they never actually had really supplies on it, or perhaps even the Syrians have some kind of fabricator magic that just creates food from nothing. Wait, that's crazy magic. Nobody has that. But in any case, you don't actually find cooking implements.
There is a lot of boulet meat
Okay.
scattered around
That's
the desk.
true.
Yeah.
You're saying we
Just
didn't find
everywhere.
food this time?
No, Bruce was looking in the galley for Syrian cooking implements and stuff like that, which is great, but unfortunately there's just nothing to be found in there.
Because I can make good berries if I need to.
Yeah, that is right. So you can do that. Also, though, if you want to forage, you can certainly do that. There's tons of belay meat. That is, in fact.
Right.
And we'll say that it tastes just like chicken. Cockatrice. It tastes just like cockatrice. So, that's pretty good. All right, we're going to do our little watch for the evening. Chat crew, When you get this, let me know. Yellow is first, clear is second.
Why is he looking at us?
Where are we? It always happens on measures.
Who?
What?
Yes.
Okay,
All right. So
18,
everybody is going to be able to get a long rest out of this.
All right.
Peaceful night's sleep. You're able to actually make a nice fire, as you were saying, right in the hull of the ship itself, so that actually the flame, the brightness of the fire has been obfuscated from further out. In fact, even the smoke itself is diffused out through the hole. So basically, there's nothing there. And in addition, something that you know about predators like these bulettes, which I would actually say is enough of an apex predator that there's rumors about this. Varys would know some. I think even the Eladrin would know a little bit, but mostly I think Varys from your Outlander days. Bulettes are apex predators. They eat everything within a large span if they can. So probably this is the best spot in a way to camp, because nothing is going to fucking come near a bulette's eating territory. Or at least nothing outside of maybe a dragon. But don't worry about that.
I want to try and make a forgery of one of these Siren coins.
All right, forge it up. And anybody else
Yeah.
wants to do anything? This is on first watch. Ferris, you are.
Oh my god. So that's an 18. My forgery kit is actually plus 10 because I have expertise with it. So that's a 28.
All right. Given where you are, what I will say is what you're really able to do is create a very good facsimile. You don't know if it would pass muster only from the perspective of you're not sure what the metal is. And so I'm assuming you're like whittling away at a like coin to kind of bring it down.
Yeah,
so basically
I
you
have,
need some smelting, you need some
coin
metal.
molds, and so I was like, can I, like, if there's bits of metal on the ship that can be
I'm going to say
melted
that
down in fire or what?
these are intricate enough coins that dominating the roll, I'll give you advantage on a future forgery because that is really good. This was like a dry run for you, and what you know is, you know what? I think I could do that.
Okay.
Like I think I could do it.
With,
but
with
right
the,
here,
with
you're
the
gonna
proper
need better-
equipment.
Yeah. You're out in the jungle, and it's kind of like everybody sees Idol like like pouring and whittling away at something in her little mad laboratory.
Camp roll averaged 14. So
All right, camp roll 14. So again, what that means is you are able to forage supplies, which is great, and it is 14. Everybody gets a long rest.
So I was also last night putting my my music gear on, and kind of we're hanging around the ship, right? So I was really curious about just like trying to investigate these crystals a bit and figure out what is this crystal growth all about while I continue processing my jams.
Cool.
Nice.
So again, using my jam processing perk, that would be a 25.
Dominate. Actually, first alarming thing, well, not alarming is the right word. First interesting thing is that these crystals, like all crystals, you realize, maybe you didn't realize this before as Frunk, but you kind of realize now as crystals are alive on some capacity. These crystals are certainly living and growing at some geological pace that's hard to determine, but more importantly, they're not actually from your world. It looks like they're from another plane of existence because they defy certain conventions that you know. So these probably came from one of the elemental planes, and it looks like they have been growing on the ship at about the time of its crash.
Ship some off to the pocket and bring along.
Yeah, it is a very rare material. It is extraplanar. That's about as rare as you can get, not from this world. So yeah, and you're able to do that and shear some off.
I tuned for 13.
Sweet. All right. We'll do the same thing with the other folks, where we'll go through a series of checks, and you get closer, and then you'll be able to. So you start to be able to see that, like, the face is more than just like a reflection. Yeah, it's like the face isn't just an empathic reflection of how you're feeling or like what you will it to be. That you actually can put more of you into it, right? Yeah, like a little bit more. There's so much. You have such a force of personality. You're almost able to start to see how you could project it with your force of personality to be ambulatory on its own. So
So I have a floating, obnoxious shield, is what you're
basically,
saying.
right?
It's perfect.
The shield can be its own zinger.
Right.
But yeah, right. Obviously, yeah. So some amount of checks. So we'll talk about that later. But you're definitely starting to make progress towards being able to actually do that with the shield.
Okay.
Anyone else on this here Thirst Watch?
Is there anything special about like the nature in this area? I don't know. I'm trying to think druidy, but
You think, Jordy? No, I mean the biggest. It seems like a typical kind of a
island
jungle.
type of thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's what I figured.
different probably from what Varys is used to. He was an outlander, but from the north more. So his forests were a little bit more of that ken than this one. But yeah, so this is more jungly, and it's kind of like you are learning things as well, Varys, about the land itself. Let me go through. All right, have to stick this one. Idle, on your watch. Oops, don't be looking at that. That's a good reveal there. On your watch, it's not so much an encounter as just something that kind of takes you back. You see a couple of snakes slithering through the grass. They look like venomous.
Real snakes?
Well, this is what's
Or like-
interesting. They look like cobras.
Okay.
And you're like, gotta watch out for those cobras over there because they can kill you. And then all of a sudden, one like comes up when it kind of like catches a scent of you. It like comes up with its hood, like and like kind of looks at you, and then sort of unnervingly, you see like two stubby little hands,
Oh, God.
Excuse?
and then all of a sudden you see like
What?
up on like tiny stubby spindly
Hey.
legs, like,
Hey,
And
that's
then it-
creepy.
and then it away, and the other one similarly like looks at you with something akin to malevolence.
Where did you get legs?
And then it pulls its arms back in, and then it slithers away through the jungle.
Oh, that's weird.
Is that normal in this region, or
It is not
okay?
normal. Or maybe it is. Who knows?
The North Vandian walking snake.
I don't know.
Had one as a child.
They're always angry.
Yeah.
Do they make good pets?
Yeah. I mean, you have to walk them and slither them every day. It's kind
Oh, both.
Yeah. So that's a little alarming.
Cool.
But you don't see any more weird snakes after that, so that's pretty cool.
At least it didn't try to crush my companions to death.
Yeah. They were definitely like weird little queer snakes. All right. So in the morning, everything arises and it's all good. You make a nice breakfast, pushing through into the jungle. I assume further in towards the tower itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Push through for the day. Still on the watch. Varys, please give me a survival check.
Right, that was me.
Mhm.
Survival. Yep, 23.
All right. In the jungle,
He
it's,
has survived. The rest of us are
Yeah.
it's easier to get lost when you don't have as much landscape. On the savannah itself, pretty easy to be like, we're going that way, follow the sun. In the jungle, you start to lose sight of some landmarks.
Oh, is it like thick jungle? You're saying like you can't even like see the sun or anything?
It's starting to get to be a little bit thicker where it gets to be harder. But you can reconnoiter up a tree, and that's what you were doing. And so everything works out. You push through the jungle. You actually get to a sandy plateau. Or to like, basically, what's interesting about this place is I keep pulling out the wrong pen. It's unlike other regions of desert that you've heard about, and actually even close to what you saw in Bersaira itself, because it actually that was like an actual real sand, a beach sand. This actually is closer to a glass. Like if you could think of obsidian, just like shimmered down. It's something more akin to that. It's in slightly unnatural material. If that makes sense. You don't know exactly what it is, but it's just like it sweeps out before you, and you see far enough away now the actual the tower itself, spanning some probably maybe close to a couple 100 feet high. The ring itself, 12 feet away, 12 miles away, and then
I reach out.
and then beyond that, you can almost see through the loophole of it, if you will. Think about it like this, by the way. Jeez, God, can we crack the door? What would happen if we cracked the door? I am freaking roasting.
It's
Are you-
80
are
out.
you
It's probably
warm?
like 20 degrees warmer outside than it
Which
is
door do you
in-
want us
It's
to crack?
it warmer, right? Oh, you think so?
Is it
No,
really-
because of these
With
lights.
these?
Am I,
The
which
exterior?
door?
Yes.
All of
That
them.
outside one would rule. And if this just destroys chat, we will know soon enough.
Shadow
But
of
I'm like
Mordor.
totally like, is it undainty of the DM to actually towel his head off? I'm like, sitting here, this is a perpetual problem with being a bald man because everybody knows when you're hot. Like, are you hot?
You
Mark?
can't. Nobody can tell.
Woo!
No, you can't.
No, I
tell.
know, but it's not even that. It's for
No,
me.
you're always
it's
that shiny.
dignity. It's just
All right,
it's really big
Twitch,
deal.
Twitch chat, tell us if suddenly all you can hear is traffic. 'Cause
Yeah.
we have opened a door to the outside world.
Yes, quite literally. All right, so you go through.
That's just the wind over the mysterious sand.
The dragon's
Yeah.
coming back.
So, because I really want to get to this part, and I know that we're getting, so you can trek across.
Do something really quick.
Yeah, please.
I want to put some of this glassy sand in a bottle.
That's a good call. Yeah, and
It's like glitter.
it is kind of like it's a really interesting thing. Here, I'm just going to wipe off the battle mat. Let me be right back. Oh, there we go. That's right.
You always have to refer to your forehead as the battle mat.
I believe I do.
I'm gonna get you like a Bjorn Borg headband.
Oh my God.
To just sort of rock during their sessions.
Oh, could I please?
You
Could I please
Join
have
me
one?
in the skull tattoo club and get hexes tattooed on you.
I can do that. I can do that.
We can put our figures on the...
Let me start with the bandana and see what all right, cool. So yeah, you trekked across Idle. You were able to grab up some of that stuff, and it is interesting. And you can even with I think through forgery, I think you have a connection to materials.
Makes
So
sense.
like later you could like analyze it in more detail when you actually have again better facilities at your disposal. Finally, you make your way through to the base of the tower itself, and you see that it is in fact. About 50 feet in diameter is this base of this tower that shoots up out of this weird granular sand-like thing. Maybe it was like a blasted structure once, hard to say, atomized. It goes about 150 feet into the air, and you actually see before you, you've got 150 feet. So, yeah. And then the
How
ring
did a snake
itself.
grow that many feet?
It doesn't matter. And there's a platform you see sitting at the very top in front of the ring itself. So, for instance,
Do you want battle mat?
it's basically there I go again. Keep track of your pens. Pen discipline is the most important part.
Discipline.
Discipline,
Yeah,
right? So,
couldn't
like,
get
if
there.
you're not at the base, like Wien's, right? And this is 150 feet. This base and 50 feet around.
We're going to do like
Right.
physics
There's this
or geometry, find the shadow.
And then I
How far
can't
away are you?
draw as well as Matt, but if I could, it would be like the idea of a platform.
If you gave it some arms and a
Well, no, that's a-
face,
that's a
it would
creepy
look
cobra.
Fine.
Well, the creepy cobra has arms. This doesn't have arms.
This is just an unwrapped
Wait, the
lollipop.
tower doesn't have arms?
Not yet.
It's a lollipop with a collar.
with a
One of
bib.
those fake
It's
collars.
going to a formal event.
All right.
Yeah. So you see that. Now here's the deal. You've got quite a climbing challenge ahead of you to try to get up here.
Not unless you have gloves of climbing.
I've got
Which is true.
You can turn into a monkey or whatever I can turn into.
You can turn into a fucking monkey too.
Baboon. That sounds like a monkey.
I don't know if baboons. How well do baboons
I
climb?
don't. It's written down here. I didn't make this character sheet, man.
I just work here.
Giant
I can see-
spider.
I can
Giant
see-
spider. Does that work?
Giant
Yeah.
hyena.
Giant hyenas
hyena.
can't climb. That's not.
Yeah, but it's a
That's
giant
so
hyena. Why don't you?
cool.
Why don't you change into a hyena instead of a fucking
Look,
bear?
guys, I've been working here for like 2 hours.
Yeah, giant spider's probably your best bet because it has climb speed 30.
That's what I was just looking up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Bears climb, that is true. Jared says from home.
Hyenas rend.
Prayer's just going to cast fly at himself. Oh, and that quickly it all comes apart, doesn't it?
What level wizard is Crayer?
And then, well, Droidbot's got Divinity
20.
original
We leveled up at the
stuff.
beginning.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
When Wicked was the DM.
Yes, the new map for comment. All right. Well, basically, here's the thing. I kind of cobbled this together at the last minute. Let's have some fun with it and figure out if it's even... I'm interested in group challenges like we were doing on the sailboat. Like, I thought that was really interesting. And so I was trying to think, like, oh, it'd be cool. Like, how could everybody be a part of an epic climbing challenge? So let's map this out. And then actually, if you can defeat it through magic and stuff like that, so be it, right?
We can do that like rope thing where like we all hold onto ropes and we climb sideways and pull it together.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was this. Each section or part of the the tower had a different kind of a climb challenge. So things that what I was going to do is have everybody call out what they were going to do and then roll, and then we are going to put the dice and see what our success
do
was
it.
going to be. So climbing up, there's a person who would be the climber, and I agree, that's probably Idle. They'll be climbing ahead. That's the person that's actually going to go ahead and then set the spikes for basically trying to get the entire caravan, because it's not just the party; it's also the supplies, it's the chat crew, and all
Right.
any porters that you have. So, anyways,
Why are we going to lift them up to the top of this thing?
you don't necessarily have to. You
The
still have to
the tiny man who told us to go here said that he thought that the top of the tower had some way to get to the
Some
center
kind of
of the
portal.
island. So if there's magic up there that can skip over the 11 days of walking we'd have to do.
All I'm saying is that maybe one of us should climb up there and see what's going on before we
And if
drag up
it-
the
and if-
entire
I
fucking
like-
caravan.
if they don't come back, we know they made it.
Perfect.
And we all go.
Yeah, that sounds
Right,
great.
there you go. Yeah, I'll go up there.
Right?
I mean,
So how many
I'll go
people
up
can
there.
the giant spider carry?
I don't know if they can carry any.
I don't know that it.
Just
yeah.
web us up and,
And yet-
stick us to his
How much
back.
bigger does a spider have to be compared to other spiders to be a giant
Mothra
spider?
size. Like, I feel like
I'm
a
not-
giant
I'm not-
spider is this
I'm thinking
big.
giant spider might be like a
No,
cat.
Giant
I don't know if I
spider
can
is
turn
like,
into the giant spider.
Why not?
If I'm reading stuff right, it
That's like a
says,
tarantula.
I gotta believe
That's
you
a
can
giant
turn
spider.
into-
it says max
That's what's weird.
CR 1/2.
Oh, that's a.
And this is a
that's
challenge
large.
So it's you're not limited to 1/2 because of your moon circle.
Mira says
Oh, okay.
giant
You can go
spiders
up to
large.
CR2 right now.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
And
Dang,
I never
okay.
dicker with chat crew. But I do
Genji
think
is
I
smart.
did.
Genshi's smart.
What's Genji saying?
I have the message cantrip,
Oh yeah.
so I can get up there.
So if she
and
doesn't
just,
message us back,
And I feel like
she made it.
I feel
or
like
is dead.
I know
We don't know.
Either way, we go up.
I'll
out.
tell you what. I'll tell you the challenge. I don't mind if you defeat it this way. That's totally cool. No harm, no foul. No, because honestly, that's like using your abilities to the best of your abilities.
I'm gonna climb
Yeah. But so this is what I was trying to net out, and we'll do it. We'll figure out if there's ever a way to do something like this. Was climb ahead was a DC 12 strength check. Then tying the knots in rope work was somebody for a dex sleight of hand, right, to try to get the right knots. And then how much weight the ropes could handle and the best places for ascent was going to be a wisdom survival check. And then making sure all the gear was in place and hoisted and lifted up was going to be a constitution check.
and
then,
all of us dying. Priceless.
and then well, that's actually like the sailing things. I really like how 5e does this. Sailing things, then there's the group result. So if you have like a total success, it's this. If you have a partial success and a partial failure, right? This is really cool. For what it's worth, it's almost like a role-playing story problem of sorts. They're fun to put together, but in situations like this, I agree. If it's like, well, if you can circumvent it, then you just have to circumvent it. So, Idol, you're gonna climb up.
I'm gonna climb.
Okay. Now it is 150 feet. The only thing
It's okay.
okay.
I'll turn into a spider anyway.
Well, you have to turn your spell around. It's fun. It's fun.
You should also just climb. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Sure.
2 of you up there is better than 1.
Yep. I mean, we climb at about the same pace. I just get a bonus.
Yeah,
to
so I have a
it.
climb speed. Is this still my normal base movement? Because if so, that's
So I get an
30.
L.
Wait, climb 30.
What's happening?
What are you doing,
What am I
Ryan?
doing? I'm not doing nothing. I'm not
We're
doing
not
nothing.
supposed to look
I'm very
at what he's
scared.
doing.
If I were
Very scared. Uh oh.
what?
Nothing. Nothing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't see anything.
All right. So how are you doing, Idol?
So I rolled an 11.
Okay. The ascent for the first part of it is a 12.
Okay.
So to
Can
get
I,
up, like
may
it
I
seems
try
like,
again?
Absolutely. What you notice is probably the material is actually not quite made of stone. In fact, it actually has a little bit. It's slipperier than you kind of suspected at first, right? So some traditional handholds you would have thought would have stuck. You're like they
Makes
just kind of
sense.
fall out. There's a little bit less friction.
Okay, that's slightly better. So that's 17.
17 works. So, and I believe with the gloves of climbing that you have, you're allowed to actually go your full move.
Yes, that is correct.
So you go 30. You are 30 feet up.
Yep.
Is there anything else you're doing?
Can I dash while climbing? Is that a thing?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't.
I think you
and-
can if you
well-
have the natural climb speed, right? Because then it's
okay.
just like normal movement.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess that's
I don't
true.
know.
Actually, so I don't have the DMG tragically in front
It
of me.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Um,
I'll take as long as it takes.
Okay, because maybe you actually do have a natural climb speed. If you can, yeah, you can dash. Let's find out. Because I don't honestly.
Let's find out.
know. Well, that means because chat will chat will tell us in about 10 seconds. We'll know it. We'll do definitively. But for now, I'll tell you, if you can dash, we'll add 30 to that. Otherwise, for now, it's 30 or 30 up.
Yeah.
You'll see the movie Free Solo. This one always freaks me out on your behalf when you're like free soloing. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, I have featherfall, so whatever happens, I'm fine.
All right,
And
all right.
I'm also climbing up with her, and I can web if needed.
Okay.
Don't web. Let me
Let's do it.
featherfall.
Let's do it. Yes. So you're 30 or 60 up.
One of the two.
Yes.
Schrodinger's climbing
Probably
speed.
do have a natural climb because I know gloves and
I'm working on
swimming
it.
give you a natural swim speed. Okay,
Yeah.
but so probably one more roll will do her.
That's fine. 18.
All right,
Yes.
18. And since everybody is getting up there, you get up to the very last portion, and you see that there is you can actually just climb out, right? That platform I was telling you about. So like you're up here, you actually climb through, but you also notice that there's a hatch, and it has some arcane sigils on it. You can climb out. That DC will be tougher, or you can try to hack, basically magically hack the hatchway to just like come up through it. It's almost like an access portal, right? Like you know, a maintenance thing.
Okay.
So, if you want, you can do an Arcana, or you can just do a slightly, or just like a harder.
Jerry's got the info.
I know we're past this, but it does look, rules is written like you can dash a climb.
Okay,
you can,
cool.
You can, the way dash reads is it increases your movement speed.
Right.
And the rules for movement is no matter how you're moving, climbing, swimming, running,
Right.
it deducts from your speed.
Okay,
So-
yeah, that's fair. I like how 5e actually handles movement because it's
Yeah.
like it's just I move and then I move, and
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. I said that was pretty intuitive. So, all right, so this is it. So, whichever you prefer.
I'll do.
It's int. Really, it comes down to this. It's your
Yeah.
int or it's your strength.
It's an int or it's my
Same DC.
fancy bonus strength. But
go
I am
around.
interested in the runes, so
Okay.
I want to take a look at this. Oh, that's too bad. That's a 7.
All right. But fortunately, because it was the runes, you're still in place, and so
Yeah.
you just can't open that thing.
Yeah.
So you can try to hack it again, or you can just go do
Hey,
the
navigator.
Hi, pilot.
Hi, can you help me with these runes? I'm stumped.
I could, but so could Frunk.
You're right.
He has that bracelet on. The bracelet he found in the ship.
Oh.
I thought that he would be here. Yeah, he could just open this with that bracelet.
Gotta get Frank up here.
So from 150 feet up. Oh, bro.
She's got a message.
That's right, you
Actually,
do.
the range of message I think is only 120 feet.
Climb down 30.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. You've beaten this challenge, really. In the interest of time, you're able to, message up. You realize that that cool bracelet you have is form of access in things like this. You just like basically you intuitively know how to wave it in front of the thing. And it just opens up, and you're able to climb up under the plat. You see the ring. Interestingly, when you peer through the ring at the central plateau, it looks shifted somehow. It looks like it's in a slightly different phase of day from what you see everywhere else. In fact, it looks like it's a semi-eclipsed moon, a number,
Oh.
if you will. Like,
Like it says on the thing.
huh? Oh, there it is! Yeah, it's
He
Is
said
it
the-
the
he said the thing.
penultimate
He
penumbra?
It's a pinnacle.
It's a
Yeah.
plot word.
It's a flower, right?
It's in the title, so it's important.
It's important, right? Yeah. But basically, yeah, it looks like when you actually see the central plateau through that, it is shifted in a different way, and you actually are looking in at a different.
Cool.
So do we walk through? How
Is
does
it
this
the
work?
is it the right time and place?
Are you all? Did you all get up to the top?
Eventually, I assume
Yeah.
we did. And if there was a catastrophic
I heard
failure,
some
I cast
facilitating
Featherfall.
language
I
of.
can web people and start bringing them up.
Do you need us rolling for this? Or?
Oh, not yet. Remember how we don't let people skip through showdowns? So,
That is a pretty common complaint.
Nice. Yes.
Well, this one in particular
Is it really long?
is unskippable. As you
Well, we
all
tried.
gather up and you look through the portal to walk through, it shimmies. It shimmies slightly.
Jimmy's.
Mm-hmm. And you see a figure stride through the portal where once there was the central plateau and the complex beyond, it shifts to a creature that comes through. It's a creature dressed from head to toe in plate mail, black plate mail.
Does it have little
It almost
horns?
looks like
It
Batman.
That's what I
does.
think.
It has bat wings.
Like
It carries a blade
Batman?
of black metal inscribed with angry red runes of power. Hold on, because
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this for a very long time.
We love you, Batman.
Now it's got to connect to the internet. And what you hear as it walks out, it looks at you, and you realize that face that you saw, that terrible dream earlier.
Oh yeah, the one where everybody else had a normal dream and the fucking shit ass dream. This is the shit ass dude who's in my shit ass dream.
And what you hear
this is
is Jaflash,
Jadude.
my old master. I have traveled through the plains, through eons, to face you again. You spurned me. You cast me out into the furthest reaches of the plains. I drifted through time and space.
I think you've got the wrong guy.
Through many dark realms until they found me in a realm far from here. They gave me a mind and a voice and a will to see you brought low. Now, seeing your confusion, it says, you don't recognize me, do you?
Nah, dude, I'd never seen you.
Oh, you've seen me,
Oh,
Jaflash.
okay.
For me, it has been millennia! And for you,
I
it
failed the
has
seeing
been
you roll.
mere weeks. Perhaps I shall refresh your memory.
Refresh.
I just toss my fucking sword. I swing with the sword and it just it goes. It just goes. It just goes. Yeah, it just goes. Okay. All right. Are you serious? I am 100% serious. All right. So it's like somebody telling me that I don't need to swing with a fucking sword. So you're right. It doesn't feel. It doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't. You never quite understood on some basic level. When you swing it, you miss, and you're like, what the fuck, who cares? And when you let go of your sword, it just flies through one of the player worlds.
Do not look at the puppet that wields me! It is I, Nemasword!
You stupid fucking sword.
Yes!
You couldn't hit shit. I'm just gonna swing at me, you
I'm going
dumbass.
to hit you now, Jaflash!
Please, God,
Initiative.
swing. If you hit anything at all, it will I will die so happy if you actually hit somebody. I'm not even gonna roll. You know what?
You take
I'm
your
not
turn.
rolling
It's
initiative. My initiative is one. I'm just volunteering to go last in the order. Swing away, you stupid fucking sword.
Now,
Swing away.
Diedrich is terrified because I have thrown and lost so many
Did you throw them through portals?
Planar portal may be the magic word.
Oh, I shouldn't say. Yes, actually, your mockery.
Next time we go underwater, though.
Yeah, they're waiting for me down there.
Actually, don't give anywhere. All right, let's roll some initiative.
Oh my god.
All right.
There's no.
Okay. I don't. What do you get?
I got a 12.
Okay. Does anybody beat a 17?
I got a 17.
All right. Nemasword goes before you. Chris.
That's fair. It's been waiting
This
a
is-
long time.
Actually, it really has been waiting for time out of mind.
Should we map for this? Or
Yes,
Okay.
let's do it. Let me do the initiative, and then we'll. Basically, you know what it is. If somebody wants to spearhead that initiative, it's just a very straight up, basic, large, square
Maybe we don't need
platform. Sorry. Oh yeah, no worries. Boop boop boop. Would you mind doing the honors? And then yeah, I mean you can make it like.
Punch it up. Punch it up.
What's going on? Let's make it for some nice maneuvering room. You could probably make it like a 40 by 40 type platform.
You're the DM.
Oh yeah, I was thinking it is the. It was.
You want
It's
to?
15 in diameter.
You got automated.
Actually, let's do
What?
50.
What?
50.
Oh,
It's fine.
allow.
I think it's just flash again.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
to flash you.
Yeah, anytime
This time
it
it's
says
to flash ellipses you.
Yeah, actually, I can do this. It's 50, so 10, 20,
Yeah, it's inspired. Really
50.
stupid fucking. It's like
I love this.
It couldn't hit a barn if it
couldn't.
fell on it like the fucking Wicked Witch of the West.
I wanted to crit you off the bat so bad.
Hold the bus. Hold the bus.
I'm
Oh, where
right-
did my guy go? Oh,
I'm
there he
right
is.
in front of him. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I figured while you guys were talking,
And
it was
then-
just a meeting.
The less cool. Oh,
Oh, that's good,
I'm a
Wicked.
spider now, but you know.
However, I'm gonna redeem that sword by throwing it back through a goddamn portal.
that's right.
Melt it down and make it a shield.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
Yeah, there's its redemption.
yes.
Swords to plowshares, motherfucker.
Oh, that was
One white
really,
mana.
really good.
Oh my god.
All right, back to the matter at hand. So, 16. Anyone
Crayer is
16?
visibly baffled.
15.
You know,
I forgot
prayer,
what I rolled.
same.
Oh, 12.
Idle on a 12. Ferris, you're on it. Okay, Frank.
7.
All right, a 7. And your flash, man of the hour.
Oh, damn.
18.
Oh, fittingly, Jaflash will have the first word.
Wait, you're not gonna just take a 1?
No.
Oh.
I'll roll.
No, I
Now
that
he's
he's
got
got a
it.
plan
It's like
for
a
the-
knock. Yeah, now that like I know.
Oh, okay,
I'm
all
Who am I
right.
missing?
We gotta use it.
Melt this
yeah.
dumb
8?
motherfucker down.
Could melt it down and turn it into counterfeit coins.
No, I think it needs to be like a shield. That's
That's-
never.
Now-
That's
That's
never used.
Thematically
I'll-
more appropriate. I will give you that.
All right, Jaflash, you are first.
I'm just gonna mock the shit out of it and hold to
Counter
basically
showdown.
interfere with whatever it's trying to do or take one for the team.
All right, it seems, for what it's worth, refreshingly super fixated on you.
Perfect.
So, all right, so you're like, all right, let's go. And in fact, with that in mind, it goes right to work.
Let's go. Let's
You're right up on it. All right.
go.
26 hits, but
Yeah.
I bet a 10 doesn't.
No, 26 definitely hits.
All right.
Does
You
did
take.
it mean a cod
He
piece?
means the cod piece.
What's what?
Mirez,
Happened?
Mirez, could you try sending that again? The term you're looking for is codpiece.
But I'll take copies, I guess.
Oh,
That has
was
become
great.
clear.
we love you. This is great.
All right, so
It hits you for this is important. For first, I'm going to give you the total moment for 7 points of damage, or I'm sorry, 8 points of damage plus an additional 6, 14 total. But the 6 is shame. You didn't even realize this was a damage source, but somehow it's managed to weaponize
Shame.
shame, and it strikes you. Goes, I struck you once, didn't I, Master? And then looks at you, Diedrich, and please give me a DC 14 Whiz save.
All right. 19.
Oh! All right, he looks at you and he goes, mock him!
No!
All right, over to you, Varys. Still!
stupid fucking sword! You're so useless. How long have you been out there?
For for millennia, but
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm talking
Like,
to you.
You are so useless.
Oh, time for more killing.
So I don't think this will come up, but as a spider, I have blind sense 10 feet. So if anything happens like that,
And where are you?
I'm
He's
the
the
bear, obviously, but
Bear
spider.
spider.
Yeah,
Okay.
spider bear.
Spider bear, spider bear.
We could
So
just.
I assume this sword is being wielded by a
By a-
humanoid, right?
Some kind of biped.
Okay, yeah, just making sure.
It's being wielded by Batman.
So I'll move kind of here-ish. And then as a
Trademark.
spider, I've got a...
Before you,
Sorry, go ahead.
before you
won't kill
do
anyone.
that,
The sword, however.
well, no, when you move,
sorry,
like I said,
when I
10
move
feet,
up, okay.
brump, brump, brump. So as you're moving into there, something really quickly to note in party until Paul or Varys, rather, sorry, would call this out. You don't know this is true. What you do detect is that in the air, right in that immediate vicinity, are two flying objects.
Do when I have blind sense, I know what they are, don't I?
Or
Or
do,
like-
do you actually?
Or do I just
Yeah,
say
'cause
there's
that-
something there?
They're extraplanar things like imps or closets or something like
Okay.
that. Some little devilish little
As
something or
I'm
others.
spidering forward, I'll use 2 of my 8 legs to kind of like point up there as I like look back to the party.
Yeah, Varys, we got this.
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, it's a party, all right.
Actually, that'll change a little what I do then. So
Daedric's
I'll
ashes.
actually, with Daedric's response, I'll spider web one of the ones up there. So it's a range. It says recharge 5 to 6. I assume that means it takes 5 to 6.
I mean, at
rounds
the start of
usually.
your, once you use it, no, you roll, and if it comes up a 5 or a 6, it recharged.
Okay.
Which is what the Gorgon did to you guys.
So I did get a 5, so that's recharged.
All right, beep. So when you web it, you
so-
you must have to hit it.
Yeah, sorry. Ranged weapon attack, plus 5 to hit. So 21 total.
21 hits.
Not minus,
I mean,
plus.
come on.
Reach 30. So I assume it's within 30 feet.
It is.
One creature, target is restrained by webbing, and as an action, they can make a DC 12 strength check to burst out. It can also be attacked and destroyed as AC 10, HP 5.
Okay,
Vulnerable
so
to fire,
when,
yeah, so
I'll ask you again what that is.
That's fine, yeah.
But that one is restrained. Cool. All right, number 1 imp is restrained. Cool.
I assume that make it start falling, maybe?
Yeah, actually, I guess it does, because that'll actually help me with my sticks. What you see, actually, you do see this when he does the raise the roof. You do actually see that something then, like he shoots out something, and then you see like a cocooned something goes to the ground and starts shaking inside of the webbing. That at least you know is true. All right, cool. Idle, you are up.
Mock it.
Fuck it.
I always liked you, Idle. What? I thought when he threw me away, I felt like for a minute we had something. So I thought you were like, why do that to the sword? No?
Oh, alright. Well,
Help me kill him, please.
You're such a waste of space.
Fantastic!
if you'd asked me to mock him, I mean, I might do that.
That's badger.
But no, I think I'll just shoot this thing that I saw fall to the ground, not knowing for sure what it is.
Right.
I'm just gonna shoot it.
Wait,
Look,
you're
my
you're
friends
attacking my
aren't
raccoon?
even
Yep.
don't even care about you. You were such a waste of space.
21 hits.
They attack random things that were in the air.
He's got a way cooler shield now anyway.
Oh,
It's much better.
lies.
Look, I hold up the shield and I make the shield be like, yeah,
Two ugly
way,
faces.
way better.
Now you got an extra ugly face.
9.
Nine
damage.
damage. All right. It reaches out to you. Yeah. Cool. You do that damage. Arrow punches through. It hurts. That was a... What kind of arrow was that?
It's just a regular.
A regular arrow?
Yep.
All right. It does thunk, but not quite as meatily as you would have thought it to be. All right. Then we go over to Diedrich, and then Frank, you're up.
Slash,
Yes,
may I carve this pumpkin for you?
you could do whatever you want with
All right.
this stupid sword.
I'm coming in.
You hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I
People
look
have
at the sword and I'm
advantage
like, This is how a real fighter hits with their
Wait,
weapons.
Now I can't
I
screw
would have
this up.
advantage,
Right.
or
Even
I
if you
have
did,
advantage
it's how a real
against-
fighter would hit with its weapon.
You have no
Shit.
idea the power I have had.
Sorry.
He just told me since that's restrained, I have advantage, which
Oh,
means
restrained
I
gives advantage.
get my sneak attack
Oh, yes.
damage.
nice.
Oh, awesome.
Do it. You keep
That's okay. So that's 10 additional damage,
10 additional damage. Awesome.
which I assume is 5.
It's still alive, but definitely that helped a lot. All right.
I'm going to use my precision attack on one of these that I think missed. So, all right. So now it's a. Oh, that's not much better. Why did I do that? Okay, so it's an 11 is the lowest. I assume 11 misses.
For sure.
And then a 20 and a 22. So.
The 20 and the 22 do hit.
All right, so that's a total of 15 damage.
Oh, stop. No! 15 damage. All right. You strike a blow. Fortunately, Nemesis' meat puppet does in fact bleed, so that's a pretty good thing. It starts bleeding. It's like, that was nothing compared to the suffering I have felt through the plains.
You had millennia to find yourself a wielder, and you picked something that bleeds?
It's a really dumb sword. Like,
Alright, so
when it wasn't sentient, it couldn't do anything well. When it's sentient, it can't do anything well.
It's
It's just useless.
So I'm gonna approach around this side and say, "Hey, sword, we're just warming up," and cast heat metal on you.
All right, that is good. That is good. That is good.
Just warming up.
Absolutely.
Is it hot in here, or is it just you?
Thank you. That was better. So here's the thing. I make him hot.
Yes.
And any creature holding the hot metal object takes 2d8 damage and has to drop it.
All right, I did think of that contingency, but I love the cut of your jib on burning. Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
that's 9 damage.
9 damage. All right, I will accept that. And it's like and now it has to.
If it can.
If it can.
So if a creature is holding or wearing the object and takes damage from it, it must succeed on a con save or drop it if it can.
All right, so thinking about this ahead of time.
If it can't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn. At which point I could use a bonus action on subsequent turns to re-up.
To re-up it. That is cool.
Nice.
And is it a concentration thing, or is it just happens?
It's part of the spell.
It's concentration.
Okay, is concentration.
Can't do
All right, that's cool. So it actually, that creature can't drop Nemesis. It it's like you can see like some part of it in its eyes, like right, but it's just like, but Nemesis is just like no fucking way. Right?
Mira says, "Hey, sword, this is the most damage you've dealt to someone."
Nice.
Oh my god! The figures keep coming. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. All right, so then let's just get some stuff going on here. We'll put that one down there for now. Well, actually, we'll just do this for now. Well, actually, so here's the deal. It's not. The reason I can't do that is because it is elevated, but it's not fucking that elevated. Is what's going on there. So these things appear, and they are imps, is what they are. They are in fact imps, and they swoop in on you. And actually, imps they appear when they basically attack. They appear magically, like pop, 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 pop. They pop into an existence. So it says as its free little taunting action, you're about to meet Diedrich, Frank, Idol, and Varys, my companions. And you see these little imps that are fluttering about, and they...
Wait, he named his imps
Yes.
after himself?
I give them a
That's
confused
hysterical.
spider look.
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like.
Yes.
This is the saddest sword ever.
Aw.
He has no friends.
Its hatred
I mean, he's
of
got
you
as many
has
friends as
given
you
it
have.
a life, a purpose. Surely you take some pride in that.
I don't. I just I feel horrible.
There's surely some pride in that. All right, so first off, restrained imp that is inexplicably still alive. Varys, what does it need to do? What does it need to do?
Sorry, it can... Oh, man. I got it.
Oh my my god. I'm so dewy with excitement. I gotta wipe the battle mat again. I've never had so much fun in so long. Oh my god. Get in there. Give it a wipe. Oh, all right, yes. Sorry, back to you.
As an action, it can make a DC 12 strength check, bursting out of the web, or the web can be attacked. I don't think by the thing that's restrained.
No,
I
it's
assume.
fine. It's
Yeah,
a
so
terribly
then
puny
strength check.
critter. Yeah, it's like it doesn't actually get out.
Which one is this? Is this?
This is
That's the
so,
restrained
yeah.
Is this
one.
Varus? Is this Frank?
Actually, I did literally think that Varus webbed Varus.
All right.
Nice.
There was no other
Perfect.
way around it. All right, so
This Varus will be Shadow Varus.
Yeah, it is.
I bet you this Varus can't turn into a fucking bear. You stupid sword.
Oh, you just gotta wait. Give it a second. Yeah.
He turns into 3 wolves.
All right, then I'll
meanwhile-
rethink my sword.
Imp Idol is going to attack Frunk right now. All right. Does a 16 hit you, Frunk?
No.
All right. You see, it swoops down
I feel like our
and it tries to
counterparts should
sting
be
you with its
attacking
tail. And as it swoops
the
away,
matches.
it turns
Yeah.
invisible. A quick primer on invisible, combat invisible. Basically, you know where it is still, so you can attack it, but you will attack it at disadvantage if you want. And because it's invisible from now on, it will attack you at advantage as part of its thing, and then it appears and you know where it is, and that's how it goes. Right. So it's not quite as debilitating as it was in previous editions. It just basically means advantage, disadvantage.
Okay.
All right. So yes, but it swoops away, hee hee hee, and then Frunk is going to attack Dietrich.
Can we just switch?
Yeah, you wanna?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You should just,
You just switch.
Yeah.
13 is a miss, I'm sure.
It is.
All right, and then all right, and then Idol attacks Idol. 17.
Oh, that does hit.
It does. All right, Idol actually unerringly strikes at you.
I would expect nothing less.
A DC 11 con save, please. It sounds more dire than it is, I know. Nope, 8 points of poison damage.
Ouch.
You are not poisoned,
Oh,
but the
okay.
damage that courses through you is poison-based, basically. And with that, all 4 of the imps that are your former compatriots are down with their attacks. That would be the imps. And so then we go to Shaflash.
I am gonna cast Hold Person on that poor fellow.
That meat puppet that is
the
wielding your
poor-
erstwhile sword.
The poor meat puppet.
Your poor sword. All right.
Yeah, so choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration.
Oh,
So up to a minute.
yeah,
at
that
the-
would be
At the end of
plenty
each
time.
of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends on the target.
All right. Otherwise, it's held. To
It
be
is
clear.
held.
All right. And what was the one more time to save?
Wisdom saving throw. So spell save DC is 15.
I'm not going to fudge this one.
Big roll.
Big roll.
Like you
You
normally
made
do.
it.
Ooh.
All right, and you know what? You see the sword's temperament reflected in the face. You're like, hold it. It's like, I knew your power was weak, Jaflash. I knew it all along. That's why I'm here.
Doesn't have his trusted sword anymore.
Right, shrugs it off. You could move, or
I'm gonna move closer.
If only you loved me like this before. All right, Nemesis sword is up.
Right. So does he have to take some burn damage?
Yes, on his turn, right?
I think on your turn.
No, yeah.
Oh,
I
on
think
your turn?
on my turn, I can pulse it again.
Let's do it.
But he is at disadvantage on his attacks.
Because he's holding a burning sword.
All right.
And
It's
on
good.
his ability checks. Oh.
Oh, wait, is it really?
Saves are not
Saves,
ability
that's a
checks.
difference.
Oh yeah. All right. So quickly, again to you,
Yeah.
he says, "I said mock him." This time with a little bit more plaintiveness.
Uh-huh.
And the thing DC 14 whiz.
17.
All right, now you can see like Nemesis Sword is really starting to be upset about this.
You keep picking on me. You're not the
Yes.
sharpest tool in the shed, are you?
Does an 18 hit you, Jaflash? You know what? The Cambion is what it is. It throws the sword through the portal. It's like, you actually see its eyes like, I see what you I see what you mean. All right, Varys, and then Idle.
All right, I got my web again. Did you say only one of the imps is invisible now, right?
Yeah, only this one you can tell.
Okay,
These
so-
are invisible, which just means you attack at disadvantage. They all. Oh, I'm
Is it
sorry,
within-
I should repeat.
Only the webbed one is visible.
Imp's natural state is invisible.
Okay, they
So as soon as
keep
they
going
attack,
back
they go
to invisible?
Right. But it just means that
Okay.
as long as you basically know where they are, you're attacking at disadvantage.
Right, so I want to walk like over here. Is it within 10 feet of me now? Because I have blind sense.
That one is. This one is up about.
still not?
Yeah, it flew up.
Are we in a walled off area?
No. This is an open platform.
Dang it. Okay, well then I'll try. to get that
150
one.
feet up in the air,
Yeah.
with an epic ruined Syrian compound behind you through a portal gate
Gotcha.
that this somehow
And a
hacks.
stupid fucking sword. Still useless.
I'm right here.
1,000 years to become
Try
even
web
further
it.
useless. He's expanded his uselessness to other folks.
Your words still hurt after all this time.
So I only got an 8. I assume that misses
It
an
does.
invisible imp. Okay, and then I roll for recharge on that. I do not recharge my web, and that's my turn.
Alrighty, and that would mean Idle, you are up, and then Dietrich, you are next.
You can see invisible things from the ethereal plane, right? Is that true?
I'll say it's true. If you want to do what I think you're going to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick myself with the face spider venom.
Hey, it's the penultimate penumbra. This is the time for callbacks.
Hell yeah.
Or drug addiction, whatever you want to call this.
What?
It's not an addiction, it's a choice. I can stop
Look,
anytime
I
I
can-
want.
Except
Enjoy
right
your
now.
hallucinogens.
Oh, right, yeah, that's the face stuff. I'm sure I can see.
Anyway, well, now I can see the one in front of me, so I'm gonna stab
Alright.
it. I'm gonna stab it
Do
with
it.
both my daggers. This green one is the magic one. That's cool. So,
You got stabbed.
yeah, so let's see. The magic one is 24, and the other one is 19.
Both hit.
Yay! Well, that's okay. Green one. So that's a 6 and 6. So 12.
Alright, 12 points of damage. It's still up, but it's...
Yeah. The one of those 6s was magic.
Okay, and that... And, oh, yeah, that's right. So one of the 6s... So 6 was magic, and then the
6
other
and
6
then-
was... So a total of 9. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Alright. Excellent. Still up, though. Literally flying, but
Yep.
damage for sure.
That's fine.
Diedrich, then Frunk.
I'm going to do my full attack against the Cambion. And I'm going to... Oh, one of those is a crit.
This is how real fighters fight.
And I'll turn the
sword.
I'm going to turn the crit into a goading attack.
Yeah.
And basically the crit is going to be like instructing the sword into the perfect form of a swing. Like really what you want to do is, lead with your off foot, step into it. You really want to follow through. It's the follow through that you're missing.
I led forces on Tartarus, in the Abyss, and Karsiri.
There's been
I have never known defeat.
many famous swords.
You've heard
You
of
will
me.
not be one of them.
The other
Heard
two
of Excalibur.
I have, regrettably.
You've heard of whatever Elric's sword was.
Like, even just
Even
a cutting
less.
knife. You've
Yeah.
heard of a Swiss Army knife.
Oh, the great Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, the legends of that one knife Idle threw in a bar the first time we
Yeah.
met her.
Definitely, absolutely killed a motherfucker.
And then it says, I was pissed off.
I liked that dagger you threw.
Yeah.
We went back
Yeah,
a
it says
ways.
don't forget to double the superiority.
Yeah, that's why I put it there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to waste
All right,
that.
so
So,
what-
so the
what,
other
yeah.
so the other two hits
One
were
nemesis.
the other two attacks were a 16 and a 19.
Both hit.
Okay. So
No, 16 does not. 19,
16 does not.
19
Okay,
hits.
so all of these hits are with the magic weapon, if that matters, because it's
It
the offhand
does.
that
It
missed.
does.
So total, grand total, that is 26 damage between the crit and the other hit.
Alrighty.
And then he must make a wisdom save against the goading attack.
Oh, or else he has to attack you.
Yep.
Now, that could be a ranged attack just quickly. I guess we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. I guess
standing
Nemesis
right
sort
next
of-
to. Is he not standing right next to me?
He is
anymore?
currently, yes. He is currently, yes.
I'm confused.
Oh. Alright, he failed it so badly that it's moot. He crit failed, so...
Okay. So he can make
What he was
whatever.
thinking is, he's got bat wings.
Yeah.
He can fly. He was going to be like, I can just attack you, right? But at range.
Yeah.
But he failed
He
so
is
poorly
allowed to
that
do
he's just like in the tunnel now.
You know what? I
Now
see that
both of you.
I see that indecision in him, and I'm going to action surge and be like, I think you didn't quite understand the lesson. Again, it's like this. Okay, that might not hit. So that's
You've infected the actual good fighter with some uselessness.
It's a 15 and a 16.
All right, a 15 and a 16 both miss.
Yeah,
All right.
your area of effect uselessness. So
What have you done to me?
Right. So much so. All right, so Frunk, you're up.
Okay. Well,
First, the heat.
yeah, I'm gonna pulse that heat, which is another
Lay it
8
on me.
damage.
Still, you see the wild-eyed look of the demon or the devil thing holding it. That I can't let go.
And I pull out my magical sword and pull back to thrust and say, you want to just become useful? Just drop this guy and just... Look, I'm pretty good at swinging this thing, even though he
would
wasn't that
wield
good.
me.
You would wield him?
You should wield him.
You would wield Nemesis?
Let's see.
If he makes the cut.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. All right, yes. No lies! Lies!
Well, I just crit failed that swing.
It is an area
It's
of
affecting all of us.
uselessness.
No, what are you doing to us?
If, in fact, I'm not going to do this, but you swing and somehow improbably with the clash of blades, now you're holding Nemesis sword and it's burning your head.
Technically, in order to swing, he had to stop concentrating.
No, I actually can attack and
You can
move
do it.
without
Yeah.
Yes.
concentration.
But what I will say is do a reflex, so dex 11.
Okay, that was 17.
Right, 17. So your blade slides off. You could have accidentally planted your arm into the heated blade and taken some damage, but you're like, whoa, no, that's hot.
Okay.
So that doesn't happen. Yeah. So he took his damage. All right. You smell the flesh of burning devil. A natural state for devils, I assume. Top of the order. Okay. So the imp that's on you is going to keep going because it needs to try to keep you off of its master.
Yep.
14 does not hit, however, imps are
Correct.
not great in combat. And it turns invisible again.
Not to me.
Not to you. Oh, yeah, because you drank the ethereal, right? Yeah, so you actually see its ghostly outline fluttering around. It's got basically a footprint there. The one on you front, same thing. It swoops down to attack. Oh my gosh. Boy, the imps are just failing me today. That is a definite miss.
Well, because they're hanging out with the sword.
Right. It's,
Like, what did they expect? They expect to come here and do some damage, and really they're just gonna miss and look miserable and stupid.
that's the imps actually want to have a conversation with you after the combat if they were still alive. Like, tell me more about the sword. It doesn't seem like it works.
It's got an aura of uselessness, is what it's got.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna go with number 2, which was formerly Diedrich, is actually going on Frunk as well because the Nemesis sword is like, stop that, because you're clearly burning on it. Oh, finally a hit!
Maybe.
Disadvantage.
Oh.
Because he's hot.
Wait, no, this is the
this
imp.
is
This is the imp.
this
This
is
is
the
important.
imp.
It's important. So it's a 23.
Don't the
Um,
imps have advantage because they're invisible? Or
Oh,
no?
they do. Thank you. So actually,
Sorry.
that would actually.
Backfire on the rules check.
Oh, that's
Teacher, you forgot to give us homework.
I was that kid.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, we
but
could
that's
tell.
true because the imps need to be cool. Does a 19 hit you?
Well,
It's not invisible to
It's-
her.
Oh, that's right. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You're right. See, rules checks work. But Frank, this one does hit you. So con, please. DC 11. Not a big deal.
17.
All right, you take 4 points of damage, poison. But this does require a constant concentration save, and I believe concentration saves are damage plus
Do you
10.
mean Constitution?
Concentration. Because you took 4 points of damage, and when you take damage, it rattles.
Oh, I
your
have to.
concentration.
You do have to check
I
to
have to
see.
do the concentration.
Succeed on a con save,
Yeah.
maintain your con. The DC is equal to 10, or half the damage you take, whichever is higher. So 10. Con.
A 19.
Got it. So you're like,
all good.
screw you, imp, this doesn't work for me. And then the other one was, that was the one that was advantage. One more time. This time was for posterity. I'm 20 hits. All right. Again, Con, you might as well just like get those numbers prepped. 5, 6, or what? You got an 11. Oh, okay. So 6 points of damage from your Aptenian closet, and then a 10 or better concentration.
Oh, that's a 21.
Oh, if anything, the sword gets hotter.
Yeah.
You're like,
That just reminded me.
no, stop attacking him! And then over here, the weakling imp. What does it need to bust free?
Strength check.
12, I think.
You got a 10.
12, yeah.
All right, 10
DC
does
12.
not. So it's still struggling, half dead that it is. And then Flash, you're up. And it looks like Nemesis Sword is here for. It's not flying anywhere.
That's great.
Why don't you strike me, Flash?
I don't need to.
Still
You're
can't hit it.
not- I don't need to.
I wish-
And with that, I say, "Come at me, sword bro."
But you come at me. Why do I always act? See, that was the problem. We never talked like this. We never into the open, Flash.
We could have worked this out.
A little dialogue. Oh, and on that note, it is Nemesis Sword. So it's mockingly. You said it's got to attack me, right?
It doesn't have to attack me. It can choose to attack someone else, but it attacks with disadvantage if it's not.
It's going to attack with disadvantage anyway.
Oh, that's
Oh.
true.
And okay,
Oh,
so
because of that, sorry.
on that note, because it hates Flash so much,
I just thought
that
because
was
it's going to be
another
bad.
secret.
Yeah.
it levels its blade at you, and twin beams of fire shoot out.
What?
Yeah, I
Because
know.
it's hot?
No. Oh, finally, some hits. I'm sure that a 29 hits, and I'm sure that a 19 hits.
19 does not hit.
A 19 does not hit.
Wow.
I have a
Okay.
20 armor class.
All right, Nemesis doesn't care.
Yeah, well,
Nemesis
Nemesis
Sword is
still
having a
used
And
to
are
fun
you
time.
not having to roll disadvantage on those for some reason?
No, oh right, he's on disadvantage anyways. All right,
So the first pair was a 19.
yeah. The first pair is a 19.
Yeah, roll the second
All
pair.
right, here we go. Oh, I hope I hit. oh, and a 13.
No.
Oh, Nemesis is having a very
Pathetic.
bad millennia.
No, it's having
No, this is
normal
about a
roll.
normal. Yeah.
This is
Got it.
pretty good
This
for
is
him.
actually, you've
a
done
red
some damage.
Yeah.
Mostly to your
You
teammate.
know what? It's
Don't
not so
patronize
bad. You're hurting the guy holding you. That's pretty good.
Which is our objective. This is the most you've ever helped us.
Yeah, it's true.
Good sword.
It's actually,
Right.
Good sword.
I'm just gonna stand
They
here.
were saying that earlier in chat.
I'm doing great.
Do swords crack?
Varys, you're up, and then Idol, you're
Yeah,
next.
I don't have my web because it isn't recharged, but I do have a bite.
That's pitting him well, the taunting, because, well, the last one, because he was going to start flying around at least.
Oh, yeah.
But then also, yeah, this is 10 o'clock.
So I'm a little confused. The webbed up one, do I have advantage on?
You do.
Okay. Because even though it's invisible, I can
It's
see the
restrained.
web. And, okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's restrained, so it's super.
So that is a 19 to hit.
That hits for sure.
And it says, so I think my description's a little cut off or something, because it says I do 1d8 plus 3 damage. So I'll do that first. So it does 6 damage.
Dead.
Piercing. Oh, okay.
Dead.
Then the rest doesn't matter. 'Cause
Oh, wait, but are you using magic?
this is a spider. I assume it would not be.
Okay, so actually it may not be. So you,
Okay.
you did.
So 6 damage,
Okay.
piercing damage, and it says plus 2d8 poison. But then it says the target must make a DC
11.
11. Okay.
So it's immune to poison
I got
damage.
you.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's immune to poison damage.
Oh dang! Well then that's it. Doesn't matter how much I do.
Weirdly, this imp, the webbed imp, is the survivor.
Right? Yeah. Like I'm trying to
It's Nemesis.
finish this one off.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and-
Genji's got a good point. At some point, Circle of the Moon makes your beast attacks count as magic. We should check what level that happens.
All right.
Not
we,
yet.
We will put. Yeah,
Ravago
I
says
thought
not
it
yet.
was.
Yeah, I have no
I thought it was way down the line.
And
Okay.
then I roll for recharge. My web does recharge, so I'll do that
Oh,
next time.
yay! All right, so that's cool. That happens there. All right, Idol, you are up. Then
No, I've
Dietrich,
not
you're
got
up.
mine yet. I am gonna stab it and attempt to kill it. Again, the green is the magic dagger.
Can swords cry? Because I feel like this one's right
Well,
on the
those are
verge.
both.
It's honestly,
Very
this is
bad.
classic. This is exactly how Nemesis Sword should go down.
Yeah.
Like
Useless.
Yeah,
Trying,
useless.
real
Trying
hard.
and failing.
Yeah.
Those are both 10.
On the imp,
Yes.
actually that does not hit. That does not hit.
Surprise!
Well, because like they don't have a huge, they have a huge AC, but that was okay. Diedrich, and then Frunk, you're up.
Yeah, full attack action. So it's another crit, but this time with the non-magical one. The other two are, I think I know that's a miss, so I'm going to use my precision attack.
So it definitely on the non-magic stuff, it's got DR, so it's half damage.
Right. So I'll separate that out,
Yes,
and I
please.
used my precision attack on the one that I think was too low. So that's the two magic hits are a 22 and a 23.
Okay, so 45.
No, that's not damage. That's to hit.
Oh yeah, both of those. Hit.
Okay, so the damage from the magic one is a total of 14 from the two magic hits.
Okay.
And then the non-magic crit is 9. So 4.
All right, so 4. All right. But you know what? Incredibly, you start to see this devil's blood oozing through its plate mail. And you can see like the panic in its eyes as it realizes that probably
It chose
It
the
picked
wrong
the
side.
wrong sword.
Yeah.
it picked the wrong sword. Right. Well,
It should have just thrown it away.
it should have, but see,
Back through the portal.
Devil,
All right.
drop that sword and you can join our crew.
All right. you hear it say under its breath, "I can't. Do not talk to the meat puppet who wields the glorious blade of nemesis.
Cut off that hand.
Exactly.
Are you good with what a shield, Javlash?
Probably.
You need to get a hook arm.
Are you going to protect me to death? All right, who's up now? Oh yeah, this is Frank. Are you
Okay.
going to shield me to death, Javlash?
Last chance, devil, drop it. Pulse the heat.
Oh,
Oh, pulse the
I feel
heat.
kind of bad.
I know,
9 damage.
All right, 9 damage.
Poor
It
devil.
takes. I know. For the devil who's tortured innumerable souls.
Yeah, right.
probably in its
And
day.
then
Probably
I
just
will
had a bad
try
upbringing.
a big overhand strike right at the wrist.
Oh, yes. Okay, so
Oh.
this is because I don't think anybody's attacked limbs before. It's called shot. I feel like you'd have to do it at either a high AC or disadvantage because you're trying to cut off an arm, right?
Those are interesting methods we could attempt on a future roll.
Yeah, not now.
What happened?
That was a 10 total.
All right, 10 misses. So it's boom off of its heavily reinforced gauntlet. Okay, cool. Back to the imps. The imps. Okay, so they're gonna fly in. They're gonna attack at advantage. The imps do what they do. They're going after Frunk because they don't want you to do the heat metal anymore. So does a 17 hit you, Frunk?
I have an AC of 17.
Okay, and then a 20 would too. So just give me 2 DC Con 11s, and we'll make this.
I failed both of those.
Okay, so. Oh Jesus! Here we go.
I'm just gonna die again.
That's what you like to hear.
18 points of damage, and this is a con 18, concentration 18 check. So it's funny. I really, actually, I don't want to win this battle. I just want to do some damage. That's not wrong, is it?
Don't worry, you're the sword. You're not going to win this
No,
battle.
I'm not gonna win this
It
battle.
doesn't matter.
So 18
Par for the
points.
course.
And then the cons. This is concentration now to end the.
Okay, now my concentration's finally ended, and the sword can cool off.
It's like, oh! You hear the nemesis sword say, "Good job, imps! Way to go!" This one inexplicably that's still alive finally rolls a 12 to break free of its webbing,
All right.
and it uses its move to fly away invisibly as fast as it can. So it's
Okay.
up in the air. It's 40 feet
Can I
away.
take an attack of opportunity?
No.
It goes invisible and then moves.
Yeah.
Oh, but you have blind sense, so
You
Yeah,
have blind sense, so
and
if it goes,
reach.
actually, and it can't disengage because it used its one action to break out,
Sounds like a
right?
yes to me.
Yeah, I think it is a yes.
And I don't have advantage, but I don't have disadvantage either because blind sense, correct?
Right. So it's pushes, but you only need to.
No.
All
It's
right.
a 9 to hit.
Okay. It flies up 40 feet away, so blessedly out of
Right.
the webs, and then idle. It doesn't have advantage on you, of course. 16.
That does hit.
All right. This is going to be a con. It's kind of a clunky encounter with the imps.
I don't
If
know
I was
how this
streamlining anything, I
works,
think.
But I'm going to use
I
my
think a con
uncanny
11
dodge,
every
which
single
I
time they hit
keep
is
forgetting
smart.
that I.
It's
that
just
I
it's
have.
unnecessarily clunky.
what is that for? For the extra damage?
No, it's for poison. That's all they have.
Oh, they don't even deal damage
No,
on the
no,
hit?
they hit you, and that forces a save for full or half damage.
Okay.
that's
so I
fine.
just
That's-
can't.
Yeah.
So uncanny dodge would probably not apply to this.
Not to. I think that's more. Isn't that
I think
area
it's for-
attacks?
No.
I think that's for physical.
That's
Oh.
Uncanny
well,
dodge is
here's
for
what-
any source of damage.
This
Oh,
is
well, that
when
would
an
work.
attacker that you can see hits you with an attack,
And
you
you
can use
can.
your reaction to have the attack's damage.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you can just do
That's
that every
new,
turn.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It is.
yeah, that's cool.
I just got it.
Do you like it?
I forgot to write it down on my character sheet actually. But
So it's
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 back there.
it
it's
is there, but yeah.
so it's con
Use it
11
level
or
5.
is it? It's a con. Oh no, yeah. Actually, if you do that, then it would be no damage, right? What does it
No,
say?
I think it would still be half.
Oh, well,
It
then-
would be
okay.
half twice. Well, I failed, so it doesn't matter.
So,
So it would be.
So it is halved.
Okay, so 6 points of damage.
That's fine.
But yeah, I think it's a needless for such a low CR creature. All right, that's my imps. Shaflash, you're up. Don't you want to strike me even one
I
time?
don't. I just want to. I'm gonna try hold person again because that seems
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. Yeah.
That would be the time to do it.
So yeah, roll your 15
My 15.
wisdom save.
Oof, duh.
What'd you get?
Didn't get a 15.
All right.
I did not get a 15.
Okay.
So what happens? He gets held.
He's held.
All
I
right.
sort of. Can I do hold person as a hug?
Well, I was going to say, you can do that. And here's what, as you get close and you see it stiffen up, he actually, as you get closer, he goes, all I ever wanted you to do was hold me. And then he's frozen.
Yeah. Here's frozen. Yeah.
So I don't even know what that means now. He's just like,
Like literally.
So-
he is.
Incapacitated,
fine.
can't move or speak.
oh, and he still
Automatically-
says that.
Afterward.
CM's dramatic. This is
Automatically fails strength and dex save throws.
Oof, da.
Attack rolls against them have advantage, and any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do, because I know it's getting late, and honestly, those imps, you can beat those imps. Those imps are basically, to be honest with you,
We can both see them. Or kind of.
you can both see them, and the thing is, the real thing is this person, right? Like you've held Nemisword finally. So just tell me what you want to do. You drive away the imps, and in fact, actually, realistically, once the imps see that their master has been defeated, they have zero reason to stick around. Imps are notoriously treacherous, in fact. So they don't even bother. It's like, no, fight to the death for shit, fuck this. So they split. And there it is, Nemisword. Now, because Nemisword is not technically held, only the body that is wielding it,
Yeah, he's
it is
just
continuing to
complaining.
spit invectives at you.
Do we have like
threaten you.
a box we can put this thing in? Like
Not know I'm made of metal and
we're just
things
ignoring
beyond.
him.
Oh,
Like,
look
we
at
certainly
me.
don't want
Why
to
would
touch
you
it
do
because that would infect us with gross
I really
even
do.
further.
Put some webbing on it.
I wish we had a bag of holding.
I wish,
Just dump
or
it in
just,
there.
Like,
Cannot dispose of me so easily.
I could wrap it in my bedroll, and then we could drop it off the tower to the jungle floor.
Outer planes, even the far realms.
we could, yeah.
I could cast a higher level of heat metal on it.
I pull my stained tabard out that I haven't worn in a long time, the one that's covered in puke
Yeah.
and blood, and wrap it up
Hey,
and
how
stick
many
it in a backpack.
We've probably already talked too much about him. He doesn't really
how
warrant
many
this.
hit points does
I
this
warrant
sword
everything!
have?
I want great punishment.
Can I cast sleep on it? Yeah.
You could definitely sleep it. It looks pretty rough though.
Just make it fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sleeping.
Now
It would only
it
stay
does
asleep for
emanate
like a minute.
lot of power. So the crazy thing about Nemisword, for all of this impotence, is it does feel like you see. Do you have like control? You have detect magic. You have a sense of one of you do.
Could Statue Friend wield it? Can we give it to him?
Wait,
I'll
what-
mage hand it over to him.
What
Here
if
you go,
Statue
buddy.
Friend was corrupted by it like the demon was?
No, he's
That was a
he's my boy.
devil.
He's
Well,
my little special guy.
We should just melt it into a sword. Or
I'd
into a
say
shield.
it is
into a real
empathic.
sword.
No.
We should melt it into a
Empathic
real
thing.
sword.
Melt it and reforge
That's
it.
a great idea, though. So, if you want to, this is a perfectly fine cliffhanger for the ultimate session of the 9 chords.
We got to step through that portal.
yeah.
You do.
But you wanted to. So, what do you do about this thing who's
It's wrapped in a
continuing-
Well,
stinky
I'm-
old tabard in a backpack.
I'm
Oh,
adding
could be
it.
the tabard.
Yeah,
the
that's-
party
That was
inventory.
You were too busy insulting
I
me.
literally narrated that while you were
That's
trying
great.
to. While we were ignoring you. That's what I narrated.
Oh, I assumed you were ignoring me. I just had to.
We could play 2 separate games. This would
I
be
had to
fun.
stay true to the central
Yep.
narrative of the sword.
Eventually, you do need to melt it into a shield.
So the reason I bring it up is because as you actually the ones with the arcane sensitivities, yeah, for as much as it flailed about, it does radiate quite a bit of power, an aura of magic, and various planar energies. But having said that, you'd wrap it up in your, and I love it, in the old Gilby's Outrider tabard. Maybe still some barf stains on it.
I hope, yeah, rubbing up against the barf stains.
And who's holding Nemesis?
It's in my backpack.
It's in your backpack?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, perfect.
That's maybe where it always wanted to be.
It is.
Maybe
Yeah.
after all
This
this
whole
time.
millennium
Oh.
just to get
Millennium.
back on my back.
It's just to get back there.
It's a
Maybe it's
Sunundra
size.
sword.
Mission accomplished. It's size. You shoot through, and this time I don't actually have a large write-up about what it is, but what happens when you shoot through the gateway, you are actually projected across to the remaining space. And in fact, it does actually make the travel that you would have done a lot easier and faster, especially because that ascent would have been hairy. I know you guys fly, but still getting up there would have been rather tough. When you go, you actually come up and shoot out on another ring that is just on the outside cusp of the plateau, and you see the entire stretch of Vandia as illustrated here with this colored pencil. But basically you're here now, and you see like this complex. It kind of reflects the Siren doors that you had seen before. Each one of those circles is in fact a building though, so that to scale. It looks like there's a very purposeful geometry to the layout, but you're not exactly sure what it is, only that you've seen it reflected in a lot of Siren architecture. So you're right there on the outskirts of it. You are in fact in a different phase of time.
We
Oh,
have the map pointed down. Sorry.
You are actually now in a different phase
We are
of
here.
time. Do you know like with the solar eclipse, like when it's like just a part one, like that, I joked about the penumbra, but that's really why you actually are under that half shadow of an eclipse that is the entire landscape. When you actually look behind you, you can actually even see the rest of Vandia is in that space too.
Is it nighttime? Can I see stars?
If it's a solar eclipse, then
Yeah,
I mean it depends on how advanced the eclipse
Although,
is.
yes, but actually the same amount of stars that you used to see. And
So
that
the
is
same
very
amount of
telling.
stars is meaningful to me, but
Yes.
can I, since I'm used to navigating at sea, can I tell if it's like a different month? Like, is it drastically different?
It is a different time
It's
of
a
year.
different time of year?
Yeah, it is. But it does seem, based on the things that Navigator had said to Idol, it does seem like it's still post-cataclysm.
Right.
And yeah, you see the compound spread out before you. You don't really actually know that much about it, except that in the centralmost compound area where you see right there, these buildings that actually look like the plus sign seem to be the largest structures, and I mean massive in scale. And based on your secret that you knew about Vandia, the most likely place for the hanging ships that would have been there. So
That's where we're going.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
where we're going.
Next week.
Next week, the 9 chords. That will be almost certain. No, that will be the final section. That's the climax.
Of this story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Have we talked about that?
I think we've talked about
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah. Then we'll pass the torch over to a new DM, and I'm very excited to play Nicobe. So, anyways, thank you so much, party. Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you guys
That's
so
awesome.
much for hanging out with
Yeah.
us
Yes.
all night. We love
That
it.
was a bit of a long one, but it was good.
I had to get to Nemesis.
Yeah.
Had to
Yeah.
get to
That was
Nemesis.
pretty
Yeah,
fantastic.
it was so good.
All right.
See you guys next week.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hang on, we're not stopped yet. Wait. And goodbye.